of your roofing needs. Now, the Mariners need a win here tonight to set up a chance for a series win tomorrow with the King up on the mound, facing very young electric righty Aaron Sanchez. That will be tomorrow, a Mariners matinee at 12:40. But it is a game celebrating our youngest Mariners fans. Hope you can join us for Kids Appreciation Day. It takes place on Sunday, October 2nd. For some prizes, mascots, a whole lot more. All kids will score a Mariner Moose poster courtesy of Ivers in Kid Valley. Simply visit mariners.com for tickets. Chris Iannetta has just thrown down to Robinson Cano at second base. As we are all set to go for the first pitch and the play-by-play here tonight. It's a big one once again from inside Safeco Field. And here to fill you in on all the rest, the voice of the Mariners, here is Rick Riz.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much, and welcome to Safeco Field. Great crowd tonight between the Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays, the middle game of the three-game series. Rick Riz along with Aaron Goldsmith and Jay Buhner, producer-engineer Kevin Kremen, and Bone. The fans are fired up for this one.
We are in Seattle, right?
Yes, we are. And it's
this
game
is
two.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I love
playoff
this
atmosphere.
Playoff. Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
Watching it last night through the TV, I got that feeling.
Hisashi Wakuma ready. Here's the lineup of the first pitch on the way to Devin Travis, a leadoff batter for the Jays, and it's outside for ball one. But there's that electricity in the air. The Mariners need a win tonight to even up this series. Right now, 3 back of the Blue Jays in the wild card chase for that second spot. The next offer on the way, and it's inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Devin Travis batting .311, 10 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Iwakuma doesn't waste too much time except with runners on base. The windup and the pitch, and it's in there for a strike, and the count is 2-1. Kuma's 16-game winner, Jay. That is a career high.
Pretty nice. We got him, just think he wasn't even going to be in a Mariner uniform.
Looked like he was going to be a Dodger during the offseason. Didn't work out. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fly ball center field. Backing up on the run. Martin to his left, and he makes the catch. Leonis Martin, good route to that ball. Well hit by Devin Travis. And there's one away and a good first step, Jay.
Very good first step. Ball was hit.
And one down for the Blue Jays, and that'll bring up third baseman Josh Donaldson, whose night was cut short last night after a strikeout. I wasn't too happy with Mr. Chris Conroy, the plate umpire.
You got to love it. You think these games don't mean a lot?
They mean everything, especially down the stretch, and down the stretch they go. The windup and the pitch to Donaldson. Swing, ground ball down the third base line, foul. And it's 0-1. Josh, last year's American League MVP.
Pretty crazy numbers he had last year, huh?
Home runs, RBIs, did a great job defensively at third base. Former catcher. You saw him when he first came up as a catcher with the Oakland A's.
Absolutely. Made himself into a Gold Glove third baseman. Woo.
Iwakuma looks in. They grab this shift on for Donaldson. 3 on the left side. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swinging a pop-up. On a play in the first base side, and the count is 0-2.
He does not get cheated. That is for sure. He's getting his hacks in.
Let's that bat go. On deck for the Blue Jays, first baseman Edwin Encarnacion. Mariners in their home whites. Blue Jays, blue tops, gray pants. Iwakuma looking for his first strikeout, and now time is called as Donaldson backs away from home plate. Home plate umpire tonight calling balls and strikes is Paul Nauert. Mark Rippinger at first, Jerry Meals at second, Chris Conroy, the umpire, third. The windup and the 0-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to short. Up with the ball, Sean O'Malley, the throw to first in time to get Donaldson. 2 up and 2 down. And here comes first baseman Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion batting .266. He has 41 home runs. Tied for second, Jay, in the American League, at number 1 in RBIs with 120.
It's pretty impressive numbers right there. 41 big flies. Game's changed a little bit, Ricky. It's not a meat and potatoes type game anymore. There's not as many big offensive numbers as it used to be. So you look at those numbers, that's very impressive.
Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. A strike on Encarnacion, and the count is 0-1. These guys will put the ball in play. Encarnacion, the big hit last night for the Blue Jays, a 2-run home run off of Taijuan Walker. And the 0-1 on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 1, 1-1. Walker went 5 1/3, Jay, but the kid really competed last night.
Sure did. I didn't know if he was going to be able to stick it all out, but got back up there and grabbed the bull by the horns.
Here's the windup by Iwakuma, and the 1-1 on the way to Encarnacion, and he takes a look at it down low for ball 2, 2-1. It was Encarnacion with 2 outs. And nobody on in the top of the first inning last night. Hit that line drive, a screaming liner right back at Walker off his right hand, off his left arm. And he was able to stay in that ball game. That was scary.
The old chuck and duck.
The look in, the windup, and the 2-1 pitch, swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. Martin to the warning track near the wall. He's got a shot. He's there and makes the catch. And
Look
then
at his
will
reaction.
retire the side. Encarnacion thought that ball.
Decisions. With the online tools and educational help at StockCharts.com, you'll make better investing decisions in no time. StockCharts.com, simply the web's best financial charts.
Seattle Mariners baseball
on 710 ESPN Seattle.
It's the Blue Jays 0, and the Mariners coming up here in the bottom of the first to take a look at Jay Happ, the former Mariner. And what a year he is having, a career-high 19 wins. He is 19-4. Guillermo Heredia will lead off the bottom of the first inning. The windup and the pitch. Fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Happ with a 3.27 ERA in 29 starts. Jay Happ really put it together after he was traded away and went to the Pirates. Here's a swing and a foul back and out of play by Heredia. And the count is now 0-2. Last year with the Mariners, he was 4-6, had an ERA of 4.64 in 20 starts. And then went to the National League with the Pirates and was 7-2 with a 1.85 ERA in 11 starts. What a year it's been for him this year. Back with the Blue Jays for the second time. The windup and the 0-2 to Heredia. Low and inside for ball 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Jay Buhner, this guy throws a lot of fastballs.
He does. Throws a lot of fastballs, likes to work the ladder. So just pay attention, see if he falls in any kind of pattern, but he's a pretty smart pitcher.
Happ looks in, gets the sign from Russell Martin, his catcher. The windup and the 1-2, and that fastball is outside, ball 2. Good eye by Heredia, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck for the Mariners, right fielder Franklin Gutierrez, followed by second baseman Robinson Cano. Happ, tall, lean left-hander, 6'5", 203. The windup and the pitch, swinging a pop-up into shallow right field. Down the line, on the run is Michael Saunders. And Saunders right on the right field line will make the catch. 1 out for the Mariners, bottom of the first. Say, friends, see the winning lineup of over 1,500 new and used vehicles, including Subaru, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Mazda at Dwayne Lane's Auto Family. Everett, Arlington, Cedro, Woolley, Burlington, and DwayneLane.com. Rick Riz along with Aaron Goldsmith and the Bone, Jay Buhner, producer engineer Kevin Kremen. And here is right fielder Franklin Gutierrez. Mariners haven't seen a lefty a lot over the last few days. They had a pretty good run of seeing left-handed pitching. Goody batting .253, 14 home runs, 39 runs batted in. The windup and the pitch, swinging a ground ball down the third base line, diving to his right, Donaldson. Off his glove, the ball gets behind him, picks it up, base hit for Franklin Gutierrez. Goody jumping on the first pitch. Donaldson had to go back behind the bag to retrieve it. And Goody's out at first base.
Saved a double right there, Ricky.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a try.
Best thing that can happen for Sashi Iwakuma, Bone, get him an early lead.
I agree. Get him a little early lead. A little something to play with. Take a little of the pressure off, especially in this series right here and the importance of this series. Because let's face it, this is the time of year that everybody's scoreboard watching.
Exactly.
But this series right here in the Houston series can make or break this season for these guys.
We'll be keeping our eyes on all the games of teams involved for a wild card spot. Baltimore, Detroit, Houston, New York. Here's the stretch by Happ.
Oh, we got 12 games down the stretch, Ricky?
Yep.
Oh, man. How about this? All these teams within 3 games with 12 games to go. That's what it's all about.
That's excitement.
You don't think the second wild card is awesome?
It's created a whole ton of excitement. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a miss by Robbie Cano to fastball. And the count is 0-1. Robbie 1 for 3 last night. with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, Jay, he hit a rope, but right to Carrera deep in right field. Happ ready from the stretch. And the lefty's 0-1 pitch to Cano. Swinging a broken bat, slow roller wide at first. Up with the ball, Encarnacion. The toss to Happ, covering first on the play. And it's in time to get Cano on the play. Gutierrez will get down to second base.
Is that called getting in your kitchen right there?
You can hear that bat crack all the way up here, right off the label.
Right off the pine tar. Wow.
So time is called. Russell Martin, the catcher, out to the mound to have a talk with Happ. He went fishing for that bag with his right foot. So 2 outs. Gutierrez down at second base now. No score, bottom of the 1st inning, and here's designated hitter Nelson Cruz. And Jay, we're seeing guys being aggressive early in the count right away with Happ. What does that tell you about a game plan?
I mean, he's going to attack the strike zone. He's going to be around the strike zone. So get up on the box and go to hacking. Don't wait around.
See what Nelly does right here. Batting .285, 37 home runs, leads the ball club. Happ a look back at Goody. The stretch and the pitch to Cruz. And it's low and inside. It bounces in for ball 1. He has 92 runs batted in, and Jay likes hitting against Happ. 8 for 17, an average of .471.
Just seem to add on to that. What do you think, Ricky? Add on to that?
Mariners would love to see that. Happ a look back, the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is outside for ball 2, 2-0. Happ's fastball, 93. And he'll work that fastball up in the strike zone with the 4-seamer, down with the 2-seamer.
It'll be interesting to see how he works him with Seager's lefty on deck, too, even though it's the first time around.
That's a good point. A couple of bases open. The stretch and the 2-0 pitch, and a swing and a miss. And a fastball on the outside corner in the count, 2-1 on Cruz.
I like it, though. Big Nelly was looking for that location right there. You can tell by the way he attacked it.
Took a good hack at it. Steps in to face Happ. Count 2 balls and a strike. Gutierrez a lead at second. The stretch and the 2-1 pitch, and it's up high with a fastball. Ball 3.
There it is.
3-1.
Trying to get that ladder pitch right there. Borderline strike, too.
And Happ will pitch up in the strike zone. He'll throw about 70% fastballs. So you're going to get a fastball. Center fielder Pilar shaded a little bit to right center field. Happ ready. The stretch delivers, and it's a strike on the inside corner. A little up and in, but Happ was able to get that strike, full count.
A little bit of a cutter, too. So that's the one thing about Happ is not overpowering, but he hides the ball with that knee tuck the way he does, and it comes up, gets on you a little bit quicker. That's why he can elevate the ball the way he does, too.
Get away with pitching up in the strike zone with that fastball. Full count on Cruz. Go ahead run on at second. The stretch and the 3-2. Swing and a foul off the screen. Behind home plate, and he came back with another fastball at 94 miles an hour. You look for that pitch, that release point, and if you pick it up a little bit late, all of a sudden that 94 looks like 97.
Especially smart pitching, too, on the inside, getting the call on the inside part. His bread and butter is away, and then he likes to work the ladder, too, so.
Happ ready, checks the runner. Gutierrez at second. And again, the payoff pitch to Cruz, swinging a chopper along the left side of the infield, cutting across Donaldson, the third baseman. He's got it. The throw to first in time to get Cruz, and that will end the inning. In the bottom of the first for the Mariners, they'll runs a hit. 5-2 at the moment, 2.5 back. Hisashi Wakuma ready. The windup of the pitch to Bautista starts him off with a breaking ball. And the count is 0-1. And Jay Buhner, that's the scoreboard watching we're going to be talking about.
Yes, sir.
All night long.
Big Papi going deep again.
3-run home run.
What is up with this guy? He's retiring?
I saw him in Boston months ago.
Unbelievable.
You're having such a great season. Here's the windup and the 0-1 of Bautista. Swinging a pop-up behind home plate. Heading for Jay Buhner and Kevin Kremen. And this one.
Oh, need a go-go gadget arm.
Yeah. And the count is 0-2 on Bautista. I said, Big Papi, you're having such a great year. Are you really going to retire? He says, Rick, he says, it's the off season. I just can't get ready. You know, I'm ready to stay home with my family.
Good for him. As long as he's at peace with it, good for him.
Exactly. The windup and the 0-2 on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 1, 1 and 2.
One thing for sure, he's going out on top.
He's having a huge year. His final year in the big leagues.
Yeah, could be a career year for him.
Oh.
And they get in the postseason. You never know. Something magical could happen. That ride off into the sunset.
He might not get on the horse.
Yeah. Like Wade Boggs, right?
The 1-2 pitch, and it's
Got a
strike
baby.
3 called. Hisashi Wakuma with his first strikeout of the ball game. He strikes out Bautista looking, and one away for the Blue Jays here in the top of the second. Let's pause for station identification time. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Hey, Mariners fans, Mike Salk here. It has come to this. 2 biggest games of the year against Toronto. We'll be getting ready for Felix tomorrow and talking all about what happened tonight. We get going at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Brock and Salk, 710 ESPN, KIRO AM Seattle.
Here's Blue Jays catcher Russell Martin. 1 out, nobody on. 4 in a row retired by Iwakuma. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for ball 1. Martin batting .239. He has 19 home runs and
doesn't get any easier, does it? You look at this lineup, and even with Bautista struggling, you know as well as I do, a veteran player doesn't take very much to get locked back in.
A lot of pop in this lineup. The windup and the pitch up and in on Martin. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count.
Got to change speeds, Ricky. Stay out of the middle of the plate. Keep changing speeds. Easy for me to say. And location. Up, down, move the eyes a little bit, move the feet a little bit.
Here's the windup and the 2-0 to Martin. It's low and inside. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. On deck is shortstop Troy Tulowitzki. Mariners have seen a lot of pitchers lately that have had a very good changeup and that slow curveball. Here's the windup and the 3-0 pitch, and it's in there for a strike. 3-1 on Martin.
Yeah, it seems like the cutty fingers or the soft throwers have been giving the Mariners fits lately.
They really have. Colin McHugh, the opening game of the homestand with the Astros. Mike Fiers used that changeup. Estrada last night. The windup and the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up out of play. Behind the plate, and the count is full 3-2.
So that tells me being a little bit over-aggressive and trying to do a little bit more than what you're capable of doing.
How hard is it to just sit
it's
back
tough,
and wait
especially this time of year. I mean, all these games need so much. Let's face it. And, you know, it comes in there like a beach ball, and you just want to jump out and attack it, and you try to do too much instead of just trying to live hard in the middle even more, which means you got to wait even more, which is tough to do.
Next offer on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 4. So Martin with a walk, and that's the first base runner tonight for Toronto. Say, friends, tomorrow both the sun overhead and the Kings Court will be shining bright here at Safeco Field. Enjoy a Mariners matinee at a special 12:40 start time as Felix takes the mound against these Blue Jays. Tickets to sit in the golden-clad Kings Court are $45 and available now at mariners.com/Felix.
We need the King to bounce back and have a big outing.
Yes.
A big outing. They're going to need him desperately.
Tomorrow afternoon, 12:40 start time. Here's Troy Tulowitzki. 1 on, 1 away, no score. Top of the second, the pitch. Swing and a pop-up out of play on the first base side by Tulo, and it's 0-1. Man, it had to be fun in 95 when you guys played in games like this down the stretch, looking to gain ground.
I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. There's no better feeling. Tell you, as a ball player, you feed off the energy in ballparks when it gets like this too.
And it got noisy over across the street in the Kingdom.
And the best way to shut them all up is to do what?
Score some runs.
Absolutely.
Here's the stretch and the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball to Harper to short. Up with the ball to O'Malley. Over to Cano. There's one.
Go.
Relay to first. In time. Double play. And that will retire the side. They get Martin at second. And double up Tulowitzki at first base. 6-4-3. Seager. 364 hitter against Jay Happ. Here's the pitch, and a curveball is low and outside for ball 1. He's 4 for 11 against Happ. And 2 of the 4 hits are home runs.
Go ahead and say it, Ricky. Good spot for number what?
Number 30. The windup and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul up the first base side. The count is even on Kyle. A 1 ball and a 1 strike.
I agree. He's locked in.
He's
really locked
is.
in. He's having a heck of a year against lefties.
He's hit about 12, 13 home runs against left-handed pitching. His average a little above 200 against lefties, but he's doing damage against the lefties. Here's the windup and the 1-1 pitch to Kyle, and it's just a bit outside. Ball 2-1. We were talking about it not too long ago. And I said, Kyle, you really drive the ball against some lefties. He says, when you're not hitting for an average, you got to do some damage when you get your pitch. And he has.
I like it. Find the positive out of it.
Next home run, he'll be in the 30 home run club with 2 other guys on the club. Here's the pitch, check swing, and he fouls it away. And the count is now even on Seager at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cano has 33, matching his career high. Cruz already with 37. And I said 1996, it was you, Junior, and Alex Rodriguez who all hit 30-plus home runs. And it was 97 where you and Junior and Paul Sorrento hit 30.
Paulie. Yeah.
Happ looks in. Here's the windup. And the 2-2 on the way, and a swing and a miss by Seager for strike 3. And Jay Happ has his first strikeout tonight. So 1 down for the Mariners, bottom of the second. Tonight's Men of Steel report brought to you by Steel Power Equipment. How about this? The Mariners' 7 minor league affiliates this year wrapped up the season, combining for a .451-314 record. The best overall winning percentage of any organization in baseball.
That's quite a turnaround, Ricky.
Jay, 7 teams went to the postseason, 7 minor league clubs.
And last year, they struggled mightily.
Yeah.
So what a turnaround.
Here's Dae-Ho Lee swinging a fly ball into right center field. Over is Pilar. Pilar on the run. He's there to make the catch. And there's 2 outs. So tonight's Men of Steel report brought to you by Steel Power Equipment. Built in America, believing in America, #1 in America, Steel Power Equipment.
Good stuff. I like it. Didn't the AA team bring home the hardware, baby?
They won the Southern League title.
Ooh, come on. Brownie was their manager, right?
Darren Brown.
Oh, love that guy.
Yeah,
what a great guy. Good for them. Nothing better than winning.
Here is center fielder Leonis Martin. Gave the Mariners a late spark last night, Jay, with that 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch to him from Happ, and it's low and outside for ball 1.
I think the AA team took away all the hardware. They won the championship. They got pitcher of the year, player of the year, and manager of the year.
Exactly.
How's that?
They won it all.
Take that and like it.
Exactly. Tyler O'Neill had a great year. The windup and the 1-0 pitch, swing and a foul, back it out of play. And the count is even at 1-1 on Martin.
We're going to make a play up here, man. Somebody's going to make a play.
We had one up here earlier this year. Caught it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you knock it down? Did you catch it?
I caught it. Norioki hit it up here.
Wow.
Yeah. It hurt, too.
So they didn't have to say nice hands, feet? You actually caught it.
I caught it.
Or it caught
Paid
you.
the price. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Martin. And the count goes to 1-2. I'm glad we have the Gold Glover up here, Jay Buhner.
Well, I'll tell you what. We got us an old-fashioned pitching duel so far.
Yes, we do. And now Martin, a little walk to the right side of home plate. What's going on here, Jay?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he hurt himself on the swing is what it looks like. Hopefully not.
Martin now with 15 home runs on the season. Happ ready. The windup and the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
Good job right there. Because that pitch right there, that little frisbee slider down the way has been hard for him to lay off of this year.
Happ looks in, has a sign from Martin. And now the pitch to Martin. The 2-2 and a swing and a miss. Making a foul tip into the glove of Martin. He hung on to it. For Steve Wright 3, and that will retire the side. Bone, thanks a lot, buddy.
We'll see after a W, boys.
We'll see after a W. In
playoffs, Michael Saunders leads off the top of the 3rd. Iwakuma's first pitch. And it's in there for a strike. There was no question that on that final swing from Martin to end the bottom of the 2nd, he injured himself. He has stayed in the game. He is still in center field.
Was it his side, his elbow?
Almost looked like he was holding his arm. The 0-1. Saunders tries to check the swing. He fouls it back. It's 0-2 to Saunders. Of course, we have seen a couple of times actually this year, although it's been some while since we last saw it. Martin almost grimace after a throw from the outfield. Not sure if that is related or not, but we'll keep an eye on it. The shift is on for Saunders. The 0-2. Missing high. And the count goes to 1-2. Saunders coming off the bench in last night's game did not start, but getting the nod here tonight in the middle game of this series. An all-star this year for the first time. Kind enough to be our pregame guest. Iwakuma's pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Iwakuma's second strikeout. A fine way to begin the top of the third. Retiring his former teammate. Alaska Airlines flyers can enjoy the most flights from Seattle to the East Coast, including exciting destinations like New York, JFK, Washington, Dulles, and Boston. Book today at alaskaair.com. Iwakuma has retired the leadoff man in each of the first 3 innings here tonight. Now facing Kevin Pillar. Both of Iwakuma's strikeouts have come on the fastball tonight. His first pitch to Pillar is knee-high for a strike. Pillar batting 8th, hitting .264 on the season. One of the really only threats to run if he gets on base for the Blue Jays. Had a couple of steals last night. No score, top of the third. The pitch. Swing and a flick into right field, starting to die. Gutierrez charging. This dies in very shallow right field near the line. Really only a few feet beyond the dirt behind first base. And Pillar, with a dying Quail, just falls into right field for the first hit tonight for the Blue Jays. How many times did we see last night the Mariners completely blister a pitch for it only to be caught? And we've seen that already tonight for the Blue Jays. Encarnacion out to the wall in center field in the first inning. But Pillar, a weakly hit fly ball. And it drops in for a 1-out single. Second base runner tonight for the Blue Jays. A walk earlier, was erased on a double play. In steps Carrera, the number 9 hitter. No score, top of the third, 1 out. Iwakuma, a soft toss to first. Pillar back in standing without attack.
And here's where Iwakuma will slow things down. He'll be very deliberate. He'll take a lot of time between pitches with a runner on base.
Now we mentioned the success that Pillar had in last night's game of the base paths. The pitch. Bunt is shown, and it's a ball. Carrera running through it, 1-0. Now both of these teams struggling offensively. Blue Jays have dropped 4 of 7 despite winning last night. And Toronto only 4 runs over their last 3 games. They entered last night having been shut out in their previous 10 innings. 1 out, 1 on top of the third, scoreless. Iwakuma sets chest high and now fires. Jams and swing, ground ball softly through the left side. It splits Seager and O'Malley and rolls to the shallow left field. Carrera keeps his hands in tight. Now Pillar and Carrera both making weak contact, but both rewarded with base hits. 1 out, 2 on. And Pillar with good speed and scoring position. So the 8 and 9 hitters are on base. For the top of the order, here is Devin Travis, who hit one right on the screws to begin the ball game, but was out on a fly ball slicing away from Martin in center field. He was able to flag it down. Travis in the midst of a career best 16 game hitting streak. Batting .310 on the season now. No score, top of the third. The Blue Jays threatening with runners at first and second. Iwakuma sets chest high, takes a look at second base at the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. First pitch splitter to Travis. Travis does have a little bit of pop, 10 home runs. He's driven in 48 on the season. 0-0, top of the third. Cadeau is slightly shifted off to our left towards second base. Iwakuma a long hold, and now the pitch. It burns in for a strike. It's 0-2, a fastball this time. On the inside edge, and Iwakuma is ahead 0-2. Now the meat of this order for the Blue Jays is coming up. Donaldson, Encarnacion, Bautista. Right now Pillar at second base, Carrera at first. A scoreless tie here in the third inning. 1 out, 2 on. Outfield straight away. Iwakuma a couple of glances at second. He fires home. Splitter in the dirt, blocked by Iannetta, who stalks it up the first base chalk and foul ground. Keeps it within range. And everybody staying put. The count goes to 1-2.
Great job right there by Chris Iannetta, getting in front, dropping that glove in that 5-hole and just getting over it and knocking it down and keeping the runners right there and keeping that double play in order. As you mentioned, the Mariners turn 2 to get out of the second.
Good speed on the base pass for Toronto. 1 out, 2 on, no score. Iwakuma arms down to his sides. This next pitch will be number 35. And here comes the 1-2. Swing and a foul, trickling up the first base line. Came in on the hands again. As Travis swinging at would have been ball 2. Instead, it's still a ball and 2 strikes.
I think that fastball right on the inside corner, it's in good movement. In on the hands of Travis, a right-handed hitter. So the fastball 88-89, but it moves.
Iwakuma's fastball, one of the slowest among any right-handed starter in baseball. But it has not mattered for Iwakuma this year. Iannetta drops down the signs. 1 out, 2 on. No score here in the third inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He went chasing after it inside the other batter's box. A much needed out number 2. Both outs in this third inning coming via the strikeout for Iwakuma. That keeps the runners in place. Pilar at second base, Carrera at first.
That time looked like this hard slider. It had a lot of bite to it, down and away. And Travis chasing it. Big out for Iwakuma.
Both runners reaching on weakly hit singles. Pilar into shallow right field. Carrera a seeing eye single through the left side. And here is Josh Donaldson, batting just 149 in the month of September. No score, top of the third, 2 outs and 2 on. Iwakuma's pitch. Donaldson takes low for ball 1. Although the numbers for Donaldson this month are far from stellar, his numbers overall this season once again MVP worthy. Despite a recent slide, still batting .283, 34 home runs, 93 RBIs. He pinwheels a black bat a couple of times, now a practice swing. Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Pilar at second, Carrera at first. Scoreless tie here in the third inning, 2 down. Iwakuma deals. And it's a strike on the outside corner. That's the curve that time from Iwakuma. And the count goes to 1-1. Blue Jays winning last night. Mariners needing a win tonight for a chance for a series win tomorrow behind Felix Hernandez. Two outs and 2 on. An even 1-1 count to Donaldson. And now Donaldson steps out for a moment. Iannetta up out of his crouch. Does a little landscaping behind home plate. Martin at center field, shaded just slightly into left. Donaldson, a very powerful right-handed hitter. Iwakuma tucks the ball inside of his glove, comes set. Eyes second base now and delivers. And it's a strike. Knee-high fastball at 90 miles an hour, and Iwakuma is ahead 1-2. Iwakuma sat down the side in order in the first. Did the same in the second despite a 1-out walk, helped out by a double play. Has allowed his first base hits here in the third, trying to get out of runners at first and second. 2 outs, 0-0 facing Donaldson. Left side of the infield plays back. Iwakuma a long hold, and now the 1-2 low. Good stop by Iannetta, dropping to his knees. It's 2-2. Tried to come in that time with the splitter, but Donaldson held back. Donaldson now 0 for his last 11. Struck out twice last night. And it was the final strikeout looking that got him run from the game, arguing balls and strikes. Pilar with good speed at second base. Carrera is at first. Donaldson very deep in the right-handed batter's box. A slight flex in his knees. Iwakuma grabs a sign, looks at the target, deals. And it just misses right beneath the knees. Off-speed pitch from Iwakuma that could have easily been called strike 3. Instead, it's a full count.
Outstanding curveball right there. It could have gone, you're right, either way. Chris Iannetta making the catch and holding it there for home plate umpire Paul Nauert. And Iwakuma just barely missed his 4th strikeout of the ballgame.
Now, very important to end it here with Donaldson. Encarnacion is on deck. And then Bautista. A full count with 2 outs and 2 on. 0-0, top of the 3rd. Iwakuma with the pause. And now Kuma's 3-2. Strike 3 called. He freezes Donaldson. The reigning MVP caught looking. 3rd inning, scoreless. That's our Red Hook score. Chris Iannetta leads off. Jay Happ into the windup in the left-hander's pitch. Swing, and this is pelted out to left field as it turns. Carrera racing back to the warning track, and he's able to flag it down for round number 1. A screamer to left. 1 out. It brings in Sean O'Malley. Makes September 29th a night out at the ballpark with the entire family. You can get in on the action for less when you buy a Safeco Insurance Grand Slam family package. A ticket, a hot dog, and a Pepsi are available at a special package value price. Secure your savings by simply going to Mariners.com. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here is O'Malley. 0-0, bottom of the 3rd. Happ's pitch. And it's inside for ball 1. Happ, back-to-back quality starts. The first against the Red Sox. Not an easy thing to do. The most recent on this road trip in Anaheim. He deals. O'Malley showing bunt, pulls back and looks at a ball. 2-0. Happ now 33 years old in his 10th Major League season, and in a number of ways having his best. An ERA just above 3.25 entering tonight. His 2-0. A strike. The splits in terms of the opposing average truly exactly identical. Lefties batting .232, righties the same figure. 2-1. O'Malley showing bunt, drops it back towards the mound. Happ picks it up with a bare hand, spins, wheels, fires to first base. Not in time. O'Malley burns it out, and he is aboard. Fantastic play by Happ, getting to it. It's a close play at first. We'll see if Gibbons wants to challenge, but as of right now, it's a bunt base hit for Sean O'Malley.
And there's the speed of Sean O'Malley on that first base side as Happ came off the mound, barehanded the ball, and Sean O'Malley racing across the bag over at first base. Gibbons looking back to his guy to find out whether or not they want to take a look at it. But great speed by Sean O'Malley, called safe at first base.
No challenge for the Blue Jays side. That right foot from O'Malley stomping on first base a split second before that ball popped the back of Encarnacion's glove. Second hit tonight for the Mariners, as Happ is now back to the top of the order facing Heredia. No score. Here's the pitch. He looks at a strike. Tad outside, ruled strike 1. Heredia flew out to right field back in the first inning. Happ working slightly from the third base side. The 0-1 pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. After tonight, if opposing rotations hold, the Mariners will face only 2 more left-handed starters the rest of the way. O'Malley takes the lead at first, held by Encarnacion. He's the go-ahead run. The 1-1. Swing, and this is lofted deep down the right field side, but slicing out of play, a foul ball. And it's 1-2. A look around the Northwest Chevy Dealer scoreboard. A number of games impacting the fate of the Mariners. earlier tonight. Now a final. Red Sox defeating the Orioles 5-2. So that's some good news. The pause and the pitch. Heredia swing, ground ball right side as Travis tackles it, tries to stay with it, picks it up, has no throw to first base, and everybody is safe. O'Malley into second base. Heredia puts the ball in play and survives. He's at first.
And that's what speed does. It puts added pressure on your defense. Travis with a nice play going to his left. He knew he had to be quick, but after he made the stop, he went to a sliding stop. He tried to get up, and the ball came out of the webbing of his glove. Never could make the transfer because he had to be quick. So now the Mariners have O'Malley at second, Heredia safe at first base.
It's an infield single. The Mariners have 2 base runners without putting the ball out of the infield. Here's Gutierrez. Mariners have the go-ahead run at second base. Scoreless. Here's the pitch. And a strike. And the Mariners' 3 losses on this homestand. They have scored 2 runs, 1 run, and they have been shut out. They have gone hitless in those 3 games combined with runners in scoring position. No score, bottom of the third, 1 out, 2 on. Haps 0-1. Gutierrez takes high. 1-1. Next home run for Gutierrez, number 15. Pulled a base hit over to Donaldson in the first inning. O'Malley at second, Heredia at first. Terrific speed on the base paths right now. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Happ with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, a swinging strike to Gutierrez. Happ a fastball, slider, changeup, and curve. Happ is the case study of a pitcher whose fastball has gained in velocity as he has gotten older. Not by huge amounts, but it has actually gained. Haps 1-2. Swing, and Gutierrez just gets a piece. He fouls it back to the screen. The next pitch will be number 40 from Happ, with 1 out and 2 on, and a scoreless bottom of the third. It will not get easier for the Mariners tomorrow. Aaron Sanchez will be on the mound for the Blue Jays. Felix, however, will toe the slab for the Mariners. Day baseball, 12:40 our start time tomorrow. First and second, 1 out. The 1-2, both runners taking off. It's a ball, and Martin can't hold on to it. Both runners advance the station. Russell Martin went to cock his arm to throw and just could not keep a clean grip. And with that, O'Malley is into third, and Heredia is into second.
How about that? Scott Servais put in on the double steal, knowing that if Franklin Gutierrez is going to get anything around the plate, he's going to put the ball in play, but Martin tried to be too quick and never could make the transfer out of his glove. So now 2 on in scoring position.
Well, we have seen speed put 2 on. We have now seen speed advance 2 a back. 1 out, second and third. The 2-2. Gutierrez takes outside, and the count pushes full. Now, to this point, it will not take a hit for the Mariners to take the lead. Cano is on deck. Cruz would follow. 1 out, Heredia at second base. O'Malley is at third. Scoreless in the bottom of this third inning. Happ coming set right at the belt. And the lefties 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Sears a 95-mile-an-hour heater in the upper third of the strike zone. And Gutierrez is down hacking. And boy, does that change this inning. It does, however, bring in Robinson Cano. Third strikeout tonight from Happ. Now you can tell Happ really rearing back, trying to find that extra tick or 2 of velocity, and he did. Now the Mariners try not to waste this golden chance here in the bottom of the third. A bunt base hit, an infield single, a double steal. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 outs for Robinson Cano, who has been ice cold. Left on left, Happ's pitch. Cano staring at a strike. Despite Cano's recent drought, he's 2 for his last 24. He's 6 for his last 43. He has been putting the ball in play. This is not a matter of Cano striking out time after time. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts during that recent 6 for 43 slide. The 0-1. He looks at a pitch low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Happ's next pitch will be 45. He faces side in order in the second. 2 outs and 2 on here in the third. Mariners have the go-ahead run. Sean O'Malley at third base. Some good speed, and Heredia at second. Happ's 1-1. Swinging a ground ball right side. Travis ranging. It's off his knee, and it ping-pongs all the way to the corner in right field. O'Malley scores. Heredia coasting home. Meanwhile, Cano is galloping into third, and the Mariners have taken a bizarre 2-0 lead.
That is going to be one of the stranger triples you'll ever want to see, because Travis had to go to his left, went for the sliding stop, hit off his glove, hit off his knee, all the way down that right field line.
We'll pause for station identification. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Stand strong, Seattle. Hey, it's Danny O'Neill from Danny, Dave, and More, and I'm going to be with you hip deep in hosers tonight at Safeco Field. See if the Mariners can get back on the winning track. We'll tell you about it tomorrow. Actually, we're pitching relief. We come on after tomorrow's game. Danny, Dave, and More on KIRO AM Seattle.
Absolutely unreal. 2-0 Mariners with 2 outs, and Cano is standing up at third. The pitch to Cruz is outside. It was as if Travis threw the ball into the corner in right field.
He kicked it with his knee. Off of his knee, sliding for the ball. I've never seen a ball ricochet off a guy's knee that far.
Incredible. The 1-0. Cruz swings, and he fouls it off the hands over the net. It's 1-1. As if his knee was made of cast iron. That was incredible. It looked like Travis would make a spectacular stop. Would keep it down, pick it up, and throw onto first base, but nothing further from the truth happened. Cano is at third base with 2 outs. Happ's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Happ has had a good fastball tonight. That one at 94 and perfectly located on the outside corner. That, by the way, was our great moment, brought to you by Frontier Communications. Through your cable company, the Frontier changeup. Switch to Files from Frontier and get up to $400 at Amazon.com gift cards. Details at jluxfrontier.com. 2-0 Mariners. The windup in the pitch outside. Another fastball missing. This one at 94, 2-2. So the infield single and the bunt base hit, O'Malley and Heredia both coming in to score. Both advancing on a double steal. The outfield is very deep. The 2-2. Swing and a foul straight back. Cruz just missed a 94-mile-an-hour heater on the very top shelf of the strike zone, and Happ is now at 50 pitches. Happ has given up 22 home runs this year. 19 of them have gone to right-handed hitters. Nelson Cruz looking at a 2-2 count. He has Cano at third base. Happ kicks, fires. And it misses low. An off-speed pitch that time to the curveball from Happ. And the count pushes full. Only the third 3-ball count from Happ. We play with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs already in. And a runner 90 feet from home. Happ's payoff pitch. Swinging a foul off the hands. Twisting over on the first base side. Deep into the lower bowl. It's still 3-2. Iannetta flew out on a line on the very first pitch of this inning. O'Malley dropped down the bunt base hit. Heredia an infield single that Travis couldn't make a clean play on. And then Goody struck out with 1 out and 2 on. Then Cano had the triple off the knee of Devin Travis. The 3-2 up high, ball 4. Runners on the corners for Kyle Seager and 2 out. An 8-pitch walk for Nelson Cruz. And the first walk tonight from Jay Happ. That will bring out Pete Walker, the pitching coach. And Walker's visit to the mound brought to you by Proliant Surgeons, the surgical experts serving the Pacific Northwest. Proliant Surgeons. Two runs are in. Iwakuma will be pitching with at least a 2-run lead when we go to the top of the fourth. He will be facing Encarnacion, Bautista, and Russell Martin. So a chance here for Kyle Seager. 29 home runs. The RBI leader for the Mariners this year at 95. And the best run producer for the Mariners this season at the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. A 2-0 Mariners lead here in the third. Left on left as Happ right away steps off. Seager, the 7th hitter to face Happ in this third inning. Happ's first pitch. Seager swings a rope, and it's foul over by first base. That was smoked. 0-1. This ballpark was very breezy at first pitch. The wind blowing left to right, but the winds have calmed, at least slightly here. Any type of breeze out towards right would certainly be in Seager's favor. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The 0-1 swing and a chop foul over beyond first base. Once again, it's 0-2. Seager struck out on a breaking ball back in the second. Seager looking to become the Mariners' first ever 30 home run, 100 RBI third baseman. He's already hit more home runs by any third baseman in franchise history, already the most in a single season in franchise history. The 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Happ finishes off the bottom of the third. But Robinson Cano, a knee-aided 2-run triple off of Devin Travis. And through 3 innings, the Mariners leading the Blue Jays 2-0.
What does it mean to donate to Goodwill? It means
drove in 2. The windup and the pitch from Iwakuma. Fastball, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. And right now, Iwakuma able to spot that fastball, throw the splitter down in the strike zone, an occasional slider. That's what he does. Fastball up, slider down. Here's the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's that breaking ball right at the knees, and the count is 0-2 on Encarnacion. Iwakuma getting himself out of a jam in the top of the third. He eventually struck out the side. He fanned Michael Saunders, then he fanned Travis and Donaldson after singles by Pilar and Carrera. Here's the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball on the outside corner for strike 3. It is strikeout number 5 for Iwakuma. That is 3 consecutive strikeouts, and he's fanned 4 of the last 6 batters he's faced. So 1 away for the Blue Jays here in the top of the 4th inning. And here is designated hitter Jose Bautista. Bautista, the first strikeout victim for Iwakuma tonight. Does he know the importance of this ball game? You better believe it. For Hisashi Iwakuma, the Mariners need this one badly. After losing a close one last night, 3-2. The windup and the pitch. Strike called, 0-1, and now Iwakuma getting strike 1 in there pretty consistently. Russell Martin, the catcher, due up next. Mariners playing the team, one of the teams in front of them. Tigers are 2.5 out. Mariners 3. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and it's popped straight up. Left side of home plate. Iannetta off with a mass toward the Blue Jays dugout. And he's there, reaches up, and the ball lands behind him. Chris Iannetta cannot make that catch. He was standing right next to the Blue Jays on-deck circle where Martin is standing. And Iannetta had a chance for this one, went a little bit too far, reached behind him, and could not make the catch as it hit right off the tip of his glove. And that is going to be an error on Iannetta. 0-2 the count on Bautista. The look in by Iwakuma. Has a sign from Iannetta. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Low. Splitter in the dirt for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Second baseman Robbie Cano well on the other side of the bag, the shortstop back side of the bag, along with O'Malley and Seager. Even the outfield playing Bautista to pull. Here's the windup. And the 1-2 pitch inside and off the glove of Iannetta, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Iwakuma has had a lot of success down through the years against the Blue Jays. For his career, he is 4-1 against Toronto with a 2.50 ERA, 6 games, 5 as a starter. Remember when Iwakuma signed as a free agent with the Mariners coming over from Japan? The first half of the year, he worked out of the bullpen. As a matter of fact, we didn't see Iwakuma until about 2.5 weeks into his first season. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a chopper along the third base side, foul. And the count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mariners really didn't know what they had early in Iwakuma's major league career after he pitched for 11 years in Japan.
And if you look at his numbers as strictly as a starter against the Blue Jays, 6 earned over 35 innings, a 1.54 against the Blue Jays as a starter.
Outstanding. Here's the windup, and again the 2-2 to Bautista. Swing and a ground ball foul off the foot of Bautista. Went straight down off his left foot. The ball bounced over by the Blue Jays' third base dugout, and now Bautista is trying to walk off some of the hurt. Did he get it? I think he got it off his knee, then his foot. Double whammy. Right off the top of his left foot. And Bautista trying to put some weight on it, trying to test it out. Now he jams that left foot in the ground.
I guess that'll help, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
That'll take away a lot of the pain. Or make it work some more. But he's back up there. Iwakuma ready. The windup, and again the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a fly ball deep down the left field line, but this one is hooking foul. And yes, that had the distance, but foul down the left field line, and the count is still 2-2. Bautista, problems with his toe, an injury to his toe earlier this year, his knee, batting just .228 on the year. 18 home runs, he can still do that. 2-0 Mariners lead, top of the 4th. The windup, and again the 2-2, and it's up high. A fastball, ball 3. Full count.
Boy, at this point, you just hope that the error by Iannetta does not come back to sting Iwakuma and the Mariners. It has already cost Iwakuma a number of pitches.
And that pop up that Iannetta could not grab by the Blue Jays dugout. 1 out, nobody on. The windup. And now the 3-2 pitch. Here she comes, swing and a soft liner into right field for a base hit. Gets out to Gutierrez, and Bautista's on with a 1-out single. A lot of Blue Jays fans here at the ballpark tonight. You heard them last night in the opening game of the series. 1 on and 1 away. Mariners a chance to gain some ground with a win against the Blue Jays. And the Orioles have lost tonight 5-2 at home to the Boston Red Sox. Our score is brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers. So Boston helping out the Mariners and the other teams vying for that second wild card spot. Here's catcher Russell Martin, 1 on and 1 away. Iwakuma now looking for a ground ball double play, which he got in the second inning. Time called. Martin backs away from home plate. Russell walked in the second, and he was erased when Tulowitzki bounced into a 6-4-3 double play to win the inning. Iwakuma gently plants that back foot in front of the rubber. Glove hand off his left thigh to get the sign from Chris Iannetta. Bautista lead at first base, 1 away, top of the 4th inning, 2-0 Mariners. And the pitch to Martin on the way, and it's just outside. Ball 1. Iwakuma looking for his 17th win. 16 wins, a career high. His career high going into this season was 15. And now looking to add on to his career high tonight. Here's the stretch and the 1-0 pitch. Outside again, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count. He's one of only 7 Mariner pitchers to record at least 2 seasons with at least 15 or more wins, joining Jamie Moyer, Freddie Garcia, Felix Hernandez, Randy Johnson, Mark Langston, and Aaron Sele. Here's the set by Iwakuma. A soft toss over to first base to get Bautista back to the bag. He's been pitching very well for this ball club, but if you go back to August the 7th of last year, Iwakuma, his numbers are these: 23-14 with a 3.57 ERA. 1 on, 1 away. Here's the set. And the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a well-hit ball deep to left field. Heredia back to the 1-inch track to the wall. Leaps up. Goodbye baseball. Russell Martin has just tied the game for the Blue Jays. His 20th home run of the year. And it's now the Mariners 2, the Blue Jays 2. That one lands inside the Blue Jays bullpen, straightaway left. Jose Bautista aboard. And yeah, the air comes into play. So a 2-run home run by Russell Martin. RBI 72 and 73. And the Jays have tied it up at 2 here in the top of the 4th inning. 1 out. And here is shortstop Troy Tulowitzki. Blue Jays, like the Mariners, like Baltimore, hit the ball out of the ballpark. Toronto 3rd in baseball in home runs, now with 210. The Mariners 4th in home runs with 207. Baltimore leads everybody with 237 home runs. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way to Tulo, and it's a strike at the knees. 0-1. And again, Robbie Cano on the other side of second base. The shift on, and the 0-1 to Tulowitzki. Swinging a foul out of play down the right field side as the count goes to 0-2. Iwakuma, his last 2 outings, wins against the Oakland A's and the Angels. Both games decided by 1 run. 3-2 over the A's. Last start down in Anaheim, a 2-1 win over the Angels. As he pitched into the 7th inning, he went 6 1/3. Broxton in the windup, and the 0-2 to Tulo. Swinging a line drive over that of Seager at third and down the left field line into the corner. Tulowitzki the turn. He'll stop there with a single. Up with the ball, Heredia. The throw into second base will keep Troy Tulowitzki to a 1-out single. And now the Blue Jays have the go-ahead run on at first. Line drive over the head of Kyle Seager and down that left field side. And here is Michael Saunders. And now time is called. Pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out to the mound. Have a talk with Iwakuma along with interpreter Anthony Suzuki.
Now, we were talking about all the success that Iwakuma has had against the Blue Jays in his career. Probably not many times he's given up 3 consecutive base hits. Bautista with that little flare into right field. Martin crushed that home run. And Tulowitzki hit that one well into the left field for the single. So you figure for Iwakuma, he had given up 6 earned runs in his career as a starter against the Blue Jays. 2 in this 4th inning. Those 2 runs pretty notable for Iwakuma against the Blue Jays.
He's had a lot of success against them. Stottlemyre back to the dugout, and here we go. 1 on, 1 away. 2 runs in and a 2-2 tie. And here is Michael Saunders. He struck out, leading off the top of the 3rd. The set by Iwakuma and the pitch on the way. Saunders takes an off-speed pitch outside for ball 1. Slow curveball that floated in at 68 miles an hour. Michael Saunders, left-handed hitter. 23 home runs on the year, an all-star this year. Outstanding first half for the Blue Jays. Here's the stretch by Kuma. And now the 1-0 pitch. Here she comes. Curveball, and it's a little bit high, although looking at the tracer, looked like it got the top part of the strike zone, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Another slow curve to Saunders. On deck for the Blue Jays, center fielder Kevin Pillar. Here's the set by Iwakuma. And the right-hander delivers. Swing and a high fly ball deep into right field. Gutierrez going back, looking up, and goodbye baseball. Michael Saunders with a 2-run home run on the heels of Martin's 2-run home run. And the Blue Jays now lead it 4-2.
Iwakuma has never had anything shorter than a quality start against the Blue Jays in his career, and that has come to an end here tonight.
This pitch, middle in, a little bit down, and Michael Saunders, that's in the wheelhouse for a left-handed hitter. Didn't miss it. His 24th home run of the year. The Mariners had a 2-0 lead, but that has disappeared. Now it's 4-2 Blue Jays. Still only one out. And here's center fielder Kevin Pillar. The pitch, swing, and a foul cued right off the end of the bat on the first base side by the Mariner dugout. And the count is 0-1. So the Mariners really have their work cut out from early in this ball game, trying to bounce back after they had that 2-0 lead. Now the windup and the 0-1 to Pillar. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. Iwakuma now has given up 28 home runs on the season. Martin and Saunders here in the fourth for Toronto. Iwakuma trying to bounce back. In a hurry, the windup and the 0-2 to Kevin Pillar. Swing and a line drive fair down the left field line. It's going to hit off the seats and then angle out toward the line. Pillar, good speed, heading to second, up with the ball. Guillermo Heredia, the throw to third, cut off by the shortstop O'Malley. Kevin Pillar on an 0-2 pitch doubles down the left field line, and the Blue Jays continue to keep the pressure on Hisashi Iwakuma.
Now 5 straight base hits, 3 of them for extra bases, the 2 2-run homers, and now the double. This is turning out to be a lengthy inning, over 20 pitches for Iwakuma.
And Pillar went down and got a pitch a few inches off the ground and was able to hit it hard and pull it down that left field line for the double. Here is Ezequiel Carrera, 1 for 1 with a base hit to left field. Off the line at third base, Kyle Seager. The stretch by Iwakuma. Look back, delivered, swing, and a well-hit ball, but pulled foul down the right field line. And it's 0-1 on Carrera. And here in the top of the fourth inning, the bullpen's going to get busy. Right-hander Nick Vincent begins to warm up.
Even if you include the outs, there have been some loud outs by the Blue Jays tonight. It's tough to remember how many starts this year we have seen as much good contact against Iwakuma as tonight.
A lot of it right now here in the top of the fourth inning. Iwakuma looks in, gets the sign. Here's the stretch. And now time is called. Carrera backs away from home plate. Iwakuma is able to keep a lot of hitters off balance with that fastball up and the splitter down with that combination. But everything hit hard here in the fourth. Here's the set. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Carrera. Swing and a ground ball foul off to the right side of home plate. And the count is 0-2. Iwakuma with a new baseball from home plate umpire Paul Noward. Carrera batting .232, 5 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Pillar, real good speed on at second base. And still only 1 out. Carrera, the 7th Blue Jay to come up to the dish here in the top of the fourth inning. And now he calls time, backs away from home plate. As we mentioned, Kuma will take some time between pitches with men on base. And with Kuma, a little tug at the middle of his cap, looks in to get the sign from Chris Iannetta. A long look in. Here's the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch to Carrera. Instead, a turnaround and a throw back to second base, trying to pick off Pillar, but he dives back safely. Little timing play where the shortstop, Sean O'Malley, breaks in behind the runner, and then Iwakuma, 1001, 1002, turns around, fires back to second. But Pilar gets back safely. 1 on and 1 away. 0-2 the count on Carrera with Devin Travis, the leadoff batter, due up next. Kuma still that long look in. Likes the hitters wait until he's ready. Here's the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch to Carrera. Swing and a fly ball out of play down the left field side. And the count is still 0-2. Carrera 1 foot out of the batter's box, 1 foot in. And now gets back in to face Iwakuma. 2-run home run by Russell Martin and a 2-run home run by Michael Saunders. For the Blue Jays here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the stretch. A look back at second and the 0-2 pitch. Up high. 1-2. And a fastball at 88 miles an hour. Iwakuma last year, 9 wins. He was 9-5 last year, made only 20 starts. He spent some time on the DL with a strained lat muscle that shortened up his season. But 16 this year. He hasn't missed a start. Here's the stretch and the 1-2 pitch, and that's high, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the Blue Jays have really made Iwakuma work. He now has thrown 71 pitches in this game. He was very economical through the first 3 innings, especially the first 2. 4-2 Blue Jays, top of the 4th inning. Iwakuma getting the sign from catcher Chris Iannetta. Pilar on at second as Carrera patiently waits. The stretch and the 2-2 pitch. Here she comes. Swing and a broken bat. Line drive into right center field. Drops in a hit. Pilar Ronnie third, heading home. He will score. Off of the ball, Gutierrez. The throw back into Robbie Cano. Not much good he could do. Soft single right center by Carrera. RBI single. Pilar scoring. And it's now 5-2 Toronto. And here comes manager Scott Service out of the dugout, and that is going to be it for Hisashi Iwakuma. The Blue Jays lead it by 3, 5-2 here in the top of the 4th. We're going to be right back after this word from Washington Federal serving.
Completely lost it here in the 4th. 6 consecutive base hits, including a pair of 2-run homers. Carrera's RBI single, the final blow. 5-2 Blue Jays. Iwakuma 8 hits over 3 1/3, responsible for the man at first base. It brings on Nick Vincent, making his 54th appearance of the season, an ERA just above 3.5. Opponents hitting .219 against Vincent.
So here is Vincent trying to put out the fire. And it's raging right now here in the 4th inning. 5-2 Blue Jays, stretch and a toss over to first base to get Carrera back to the bag. Some softly hit and some absolutely crushed hits for the Blue Jays here in the 4th. Devin Travis, a hitter, 0 for 2. Has lined to center and struck out. Now the set by Vincent. He delivers. Travis takes a strike. On the inside corner, 0-1. This call to the pen brought to you by Seattle's Union Gospel Mission, providing hope for homeless men, women, and children since 1932. 5 in for the Blue Jays. They lead at 5-2 here in the 4th. Top of the 4th, the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul out of play on the first base side, and the count is 0-2. And Carrera on at first base still belongs to Hisashi Iwakuma, one of his shortest outings of the year. Iwakuma so consistent all season long. He'd get you to the 6th and into the 7th, but not tonight. After it looked like he was going to go deep in this game after the first 3 innings, scoreless against Toronto. Here is the stretch, and the 0-2 pitch is up high for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The bullpen was outstanding last night. Storin, Scribner, and Altavilla. They went a combined 3 2/3 scoreless innings, gave up only 3 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 6. The set by Vincent, and the 1-2 pitch, swing and a pop-up outside of first. Dae-Ho Lee over to take a look at it. This one is out of play, about 7 rows back into the lower deck on the first base side, and it's still 1-2 on Travis. Nick Vincent trying to get his defense off the field. To do that, he needs Travis to bounce into an inning-ending double play and get his offense back to work. Outfield is about straight away. Martin shaded ever so slightly toward right center field. The stretch. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop up into shallow right field. Down the line. Going to be trouble. And this one is going to be a fair ball. Lands right on the line. And being waved in is Carrera. The throw to the plate. And he's safe at home. Slides in head first. Does a somersault. A soft single down the right field line. Carrera headed for second on the base hit for Travis. And Carrera flying around third. The ball, a little confusion out there, finally picked up by Gutierrez. The throw home to Iannetta was late. And Carrera scores, and the Blue Jays now lead 6-2.
That ball landed directly on top of the foul line. And to add to the bad luck, you really look at this lineup for the Blue Jays, and there's 3 guys who could score on that in this lineup. You think about the lack of speed the Blue Jays have. And Carrera, one of them.
Yeah. 6 runs are in. 6-2 Blue Jays. Still only 1 out. And here's Josh Donaldson, the 9th Blue Jay, to come to the plate here in the 4th inning. Travis, a bloop single, RBI base hit. Here's the pitch, and it's low for ball 1. And I am telling you, that ball landed right on the right field line. Donaldson 0 for 2. Has grounded to short, and he struck out. So that run is charged to Iwakuma, and now the book is closed on Iwakuma. 3 1/3 innings, 6 runs all earned. The pitch, fastball, and it's outside on Donaldson. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. A long top of the 4th inning for the Mariners. The defense has been out there a mighty long time. Encarnacion due up next. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Donaldson, a big swing and a foul back as the count goes to 2-1. Encarnacion led off this inning, and he struck out. It was Iwakuma's 5th strikeout of the game and his 3rd in a row. And it looked like it was going to be a quick inning. But this game of baseball will throw you a big curve. 1 on, 1 out, 6 runs are in. 6-2 Toronto. Here's the set. And the 2-1 pitch to Donaldson. And it's low and inside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Blue Jays since the All-Star break 30-28. Only 2 games over 500. Prior to the break, they were 51-40. Here's the stretch. And the 3-1 from Vincent, and it's low for ball 4, and the long inning gets longer. And now the Blue Jays have batted around. And here is Edward Encarnacion, who led off this frame, as we mentioned, by striking out. And that is still the only out of the inning. So 8 consecutive batters did not make it out after the strikeout of Encarnacion. Travis is now on at second base. Donaldson is on at first base. And the mighty problems continue for the Mariners here in the 4th inning. Here's Encarnacion for the 2nd time in the inning. 1 out, 2 on. The stretch. Vincent delivers, swing and a pop-up outside of first near the dugout. Dae-Ho Lee over to take a look, and this one is going to be out of play. Ricochets off the back edge of the Mariner dugout, and the count is 0-1 on Encarnacion. Encarnacion 0 for 2 on the day, besides the strikeout here in the 4th. He has flied out to Martin in center field. And it sounded like he crushed that ball for a home run, but it died out there in left center. Martin made the catch out by the warning track. And Encarnacion was kind of shocked, standing over at first base, thinking how in the world that ball didn't get out of the ballpark. But 2 have tonight, both of them here in the 4th. Russell Martin with a 2-run home run, and Michael Saunders with a 2-run home run. Still only 1 out. The set by Vincent, and the 0-1 to Encarnacion, swinging a pop-up again on the first base side. Over is Lee, and this one as well will float back up into the crowd, and the count is 0-2. 41 home runs, 120 runs batted in for Encarnacion, and he's got to be in the discussion for American League MVP, along with Mike Trout, Jose Altuve, Mookie Betts of Baltimore. What a year for Encarnacion. He's had a 30-plus home run season, 100 RBI year 4 times in his last 5 seasons. 30 and 100. Here's the set by Vincent. And the 0-2 pitch, low and outside to Encarnacion for ball 1, 1 ball, and 2 strikes. On deck is Jose Bautista.
He's having a fine season in a free agent year, isn't he?
He is going to cash in with the season he's put together this year. There will be a lot of suitors during the offseason. Turn around and a throw back to second, but Cano wasn't at the bag. He was playing behind the bag. The throw went through the bag right to Robbie Cano, about 10 feet behind second base, as Travis gets back to the bag. Travis on at second. Donaldson the runner at first base. Only 1 out. And the Jays have batted around for 6 runs. So they lead at 6-2 here in the top of the 4th. Vincent, the sign for Mayanetta, the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a line drive down the right field line, slicing, fair ball in toward the corner. Travis rounding third, he'll score. Donaldson rounding third, being waved in. Up with the ball, Gutierrez, the throwing cut off by Cano. No relay to the plate. Encarnacion in at second with a 2-run double. The Jays are pouring it on. They now lead it 8-2 here in the top of the 4th. And still only 1 out. Encarnacion just reaching out, hitting a line drive down the right field line. Travis in from second, Donaldson from first base. 8 runs for the Jays here in the 4th inning. They lead it 8-2.
Cody Martin is warming up in the bullpen. It looks like we are about to see him.
And here comes Scott Service out of the dugout. And Scott making that trek out to the mound to go down to the bullpen for the 2nd time here in the 4th inning. Jose Bautista is due up next. The call to the pen, and Cody Martin will take over.
As the Blue Jays have put 9 straight men on base. And the Mariners are now on their 3rd pitcher here tonight. 3rd in this inning. Cody Martin takes over for Nick Vincent, who cannot record an out. Faces 3 men. All 3 men reach. It's now 8-2 Blue Jays. Bautista is inside the batter's box as Cody Martin is pitching in the big leagues for the first time since August 22nd, when he got the start against the Yankees and went 5 2/3.
So here is Cody Martin trying to put out the fire, and it is a raging blaze here in the 4th inning by the Blue Jays bats. Encarnacion on at second. Here's the pitch on the way to Bautista. And it's ball 1. 8 runs for the Blue Jays here in the top of the 4th inning on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 base hits. Still only 1 out, and that was the leadoff batter of the inning, Encarnacion, who struck out. By Iwakuma, the stretch by Martin, and the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a pop-up out of play behind home plate, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cody Martin up and down for a few times for the Mariners. Did a nice job down at AAA Tacoma as a starter. And now Scott Service is asking Martin to give him some innings. Here in the 4th, here's the set. And the right-hander's 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Bautista. There's the count, goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays now with 8 runs on 10 base hits, no errors. The Mariners 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. They had the lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. And the 2-run triple by Robbie Cano off Travis's knee, the second baseman, sliding for a ground ball. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Russell Martin due up next to face Cody Martin on the mound. Travis, Donaldson, Bautista, Martin, Tulowitzki, Saunders, Pilar, Carrera have all scored. Bautista waving that bat around. Here's the stretch by Cody Martin, and the 2-2 on the way to Bautista. Swing and a fly ball straightaway center field shallow. Coming in is Martin, and Leonis is there to make the catch. And how about that? There is out number 2. Took about 10 batters to get to that second out. But they have it. 2 outs finally here in the top of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up catcher Russell Martin. Martin started this 8-run rally with a 2-run home run here in the top of the 4th inning. It was his 20th home run of the year, and it landed in the Blue Jays bullpen in straightaway left field. 2 outs, 1 on, 8 runs in. The stretch and the pitch to Martin. And it's a strike at the knees on the inside corner, 0-1. Cody plants that back foot in front of the rubber. Looks in, has a sign from catcher Chris Iannetta. A crowd of 33,573 tonight here at Safeco Field. The stretch and the 0-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball into right field. Backing up Gutierrez. He's there and will make the catch in front of the warning track, and that will finally retire the side. But the Blue Jays bat around for 8 runs on 8 hits here in the top of the 4th inning. And they take the chipping away at that big 6-run deficit. The pitch from Jay Happ, a swing and a miss. And the count is 0-1. Lee, Martin, and Iannetta for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 4th. At one point, the Mariners had an early 2-0 lead. The windup and the pitch, and it's low and outside for ball 1, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Jay Happ, originally a 3rd-round draft pick in June of 2004 by the Philadelphia Phillies. The windup and the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher Russell Martin. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Happ from Spring Valley, Illinois. Originally came up with the Phillies back in 2007. The windup and the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Lee. And a fastball, and the count goes to 2-2. Tejo spending a little bit of time down at AAA Tacoma to get his timing back, and he did. He found whatever he was looking for, because since August the 29th, Lee batting .357. The next offer is swing and a foul back off the screen behind home plate. And the count is still even on Tejo at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 15 hits his last 42 at bats, with a home run and 8 runs batted in. For the year, batting .259, 14 home runs, 49 RBIs. Happ the windup and the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss and a fastball, strike 3. And the Mariners have 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 8-2 Blue Jays, and here is Leonis Martin. Well, it's Tuesday, which means we're giving away a 2-night escape for 2 at beautiful Sun Mountain Lodge, Washington State's premier destination resort. You could be the lucky winner. Find out how during tonight's postgame show with Tom Wassel and Shannon Dreyer right after the game. And right now, text the word Sun to 710-710 to receive a special offer for a 3rd night free. The pitch, swing and a miss by Martin. 0-1. Leonis 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd. Close at 3rd base, Josh Donaldson. The windup and the pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. As Happ was able to get Martin to chase that breaking ball down and away in the dirt. On deck is catcher Chris Iannetta. Happ the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Curve again, low and outside. This time Martin left it alone. Ball one, 1 ball, and 2 strikes. Mariners 2 runs, 4 hits. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and away again with another breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Mariners having a rough time getting that offense going on this homestand. Have lost 3 of the last 4 games. In the 3 losses, they've scored only 3 runs. The 1 win, they scored 7. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of catcher Russell Martin for strike 3, and there's 2 outs. Let's pause for station identification time. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. John Clayton here. We'll see where the Mariners stand in this critical stretch against Toronto. We'll also check in with Dave Wyman to preview the Seahawks as they get ready for the game against the San Francisco 49ers. It's John Clayton at 10 on 710 KIRO AM Seattle.
2 up, 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Here's catcher Chris Iannetta. The pitch by Happ is outside for ball 1. Jay Happ putting together a career year. 19 wins. The windup and the pitch. Swing and a foul back, and the count is even on Iannetta. 1 ball and 1 strike. The only other pitcher, a 20-game winner at this point in the season, is Boston's Rick Porcello. Jay Happ looks in, ready. The windup and the 1-1. Swing and a foul tip into Martin's glove. A ball and 2 strikes to count. What a season for Porcello, who has 21 wins. He's only about 5 losses. Here's the windup and the 1-2 on the way. High and outside on Iannetta. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Happ, both feet on the rubber, looks in, gets the sign from Martin. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, it bounces in. Ball 3. Full count 3-2. Happ back with Toronto as a free agent. He was with the Blue Jays from 2012 to 2014. And in that time, he was 19-20, a game under 500. The windup and the 3-2. Iannetta with a swing and a pop-up shallow down the right field side. Foul territory. Long run Saunders. Can't get to it. It's a foul ball into the seats down the right field line. And the count is still 3-2 on Iannetta.
Seemed like the first time around for Happ in Toronto, he didn't really have a lockdown place in their pitching staff. Sometimes in the bullpen, most of the time in the rotation, but split some time both ways. But this is an awfully good offense to pitch behind these days.
He's been so consistent. Here's the windup and the 3-2. Swing and a pop-up on a play on the first base side. And it's still 3-2. He got off to a great start. He was 5-0 after his first 7 outings of the season. Won his first 5 decisions. And then he had a stretch where he won 6 in a row. And then won 11 of 12 starts. Here's the windup and the 3-2, and it's strike 3 called. Iannetta caught looking, and Jay Happ strikes out the side here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Strikeouts 5. Batted around for all 8 of their runs on 8 hits in the top of the 4th inning. Cody Martin ready. The windup of the pitch to Troy Tulowitzki is a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. The Mariners and Hisashi Wakuma took a 2-0 lead at the top of the 4th, and that disappeared very quickly. The windup and the 0-1. Strike 2 call on Tulowitzki, and the count is 0-2. Tulowitzki, 1 of the 8 hits, a single in the 4th inning. And he was aboard when Michael Saunders hit a 2-run home run, giving the Blue Jays at that point in the inning a 4-2 lead. Cano was on the other side of second. Now gets to the other side. Here's the pitch up high for ball 1, 1-2. He was on the shortstop side of the bag, and now on the second base side of the bag. Tulowitzki, Saunders, and Pilar for the Jays here in the top of the 5th inning. Cody Martin ready. And now time is called. Tulowitzki backs away from home plate. Say, friends, dozens of prizes will be given away at Fan Appreciation Night on Friday, September 30th, thanks to Root Sports. Here's the windup and the 1-2. Strike 3 called, and Tulowitzki caught looking. Good pitch right on the inside corner at the knees. One out for the Blue Jays here in the 5th. So thanks to Root Sports, fans will have a chance to win a 50-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart LED TV every inning.
Say that again, Rick.
A 4K Ultra HD Smart LED TV every inning.
You got a couple of those, don't you, Rico?
No. I'd like to have one. Join the fun of Fan Appreciation Night when you get tickets at Mariners.com. Here is Michael Saunders, the pitch to him, and it's low. And outside, ball 1. Your son Jackson could use one of those nice
absolutely.
LED TVs.
Absolutely he could. I'll put his name in the hopper.
Not quite 2 years old, but still loves a good television show. Here's the pitch on the way, low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. What's Jackson into as far as television choices?
Mariners baseball, believe it or not, Rico.
I love it.
He's a big fan.
Wind up and the 2-0. And it's down low to Saunders, ball 3, 3-0.
I'm not sure that he survived the 39-minute 4th inning, however. Want some stats on that inning? Rico just got these passed along. 39 minutes, 51 total pitches.
Here's the 3-0 pitch to Saunders, and it's high and outside for ball 4. So Saunders draws the walk, and he's on at first with 1 out, top of the 5th, 8-2 Toronto.
It was nearly, by the way, nearly 40 minutes by just a matter of seconds. Kuma, 30 pitches. Vincent, 14. Cody Martin, who finished the inning, of course, with 7 pitches. And that was misery in baseball form right there.
Sent 12 men to the plate to the Blue Jays in that 8-run 4th inning. Here's Kevin Pillar, and he takes a pitch for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Pillar is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Martin ready, delivers inside, 1-1. Cody delivers, and it's low, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And Martin's job right here, give Scott Service some innings after Iwakuma was chased after just 3 1/3. 2-1 the count on Pillar. Saunders the lead at first base. The stretch and the 2-1 pitch, and it's low and outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Cody Martin looking to pitch to a little contact, especially a ground ball right to O'Malley at short. Try to turn 2 and get out of the inning. Cody ready from the belt, and the 3-1 pitch. Strike called, full count. 3-2. Blue Jays last year went out and won the American League East with a 6-game separation between themselves and the Yankees. They were 93-69 last year, winning the American League East. Here's the set, and the 3-2 pitch is low and outside in the dirt for ball 4. The ball gets on by Iannetta, but it's ball 4. Saunders will get down to second. And Pillar draws the walk, and that's back walks given up by Cody Martin. So a frustrating night inside the Mariner dugout for Scott Service. First and second, 1 away. We're only in the top of the 5th. 8-2 Blue Jays, and that'll bring up Ezekiel Carrera. He too with 2 base hits on the night for the Blue Jays. 2 singles, a run scored, and a run batted in. He had 1 of the 8 hits in that merry-go-round offensive inning for the Blue Jays in the 4th. Here's the set by Martin. He delivers a swing and a pop-up behind home plate out of play, and it's 0-1.
Mentioned last year for the Blue Jays, Rick, a remarkable finish, 43-18 for the Blue Jays down the stretch. Just incredible. Those deals at the deadline, in large part, look at David Price and what he did for the Blue Jays last year.
Tulowitzki coming over. That was their first postseason since 1993 when they won the World Series that year against the Phillies. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. Ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a chance to go to that World Series at Sky Dome in Toronto. It was Sky Dome back then, now Rogers Center. And the Blue Jays won that series over the Phillies in 6 games in dramatic fashion. Joe Carter hit a walk-off home run to win it in Game 6, a home run off of Mitch Williams. Here's the set, and the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a pop-up straight up right near the mound. Coming in, Seager. Kyle in front of the mound. He's there and will make the catch. Infield fly rule in effect. So Carrera automatically out, even before the ball plopped into the glove of third baseman Kyle Seager. The umpire is calling for the infield fly, and there's 2 outs for the Blue Jays now here in the top of the 5th with 2 on. And there was pandemonium in Sky Dome when Joe Carter hit that home run. Only the second walk-off home run in baseball history to win a World Series. Tom Sheik had that historic call. Longtime broadcaster for the Blue Jays. Here's the pitch to Devin Travis, and he takes a look at a breaking ball for a strike from Cody Martin, and the count is 0-1. Touch them all, Joe. You will never hit a bigger home run in your life. That walk-off home run by Joe Carter. Runners their leads, and the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball is short. Up with the ball is O'Malley. He'll go to Cano at second for the force there on Kevin Pillar, and that will retire the side. In the top of the Sean O'Malley will lead things off against Jay Happ. Here's the windup and the pitch up high for ball 1. The Mariners got to Happ for their 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to take a 2-0 lead, but then all of a sudden, whammo. Blue Jays batting around for 8 runs in the top of the 4th. Close at third base is Donaldson. Here's the windup and the pitch. O'Malley takes a strike. 1-1. Why? Because O'Malley reached safely on a bunt base hit. With 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Very good speed. I just like the way this kid plays the game. Here's the pitch on the way. A check swing and a breaking ball, and it's outside. For ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. He's a ball player. Can help you out in the infield. He can play the outfield. He's a switch hitter. Plays the game hard. Gutty, gritty type of player. Pitch on the way. Swing and a pop-up behind home plate and out of play. And the count is even on O'Malley at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean backs away from home plate. Tightens up the batting glove. Steps back in. Out of Kennewick, Washington. Local kid. Happ ready, the windup, and the 2-2. High and outside with the fastball. Ball 3, full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners last year, as we mentioned, trading away Happ to the Pirates. The Mariners acquired another local kid in that trade, Adrian Sampson, who was at AAA Indianapolis at the time. That was at the end of July. No, the middle of July last year. Here's the pitch on the way, and a swing and a tip into the glove of the catcher. Russell Martin hangs onto it for strike 3. And that is strikeout number 8 for Jay Happ, and that is 5 consecutive strikeouts. He fans Seager for the final out in the 3rd. He struck out the side in the bottom of the 4th, and now he strikes out Sean O'Malley leading off the bottom of the 5th. And he likes to work at the top of the strike zone with that fastball. 1 away. Here's Heredia, and Guillermo takes a look at a strike, and it's 0-1. Guillermo 1 for 2. He had a base hit and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Next off on the way, swinging a line drive into right field for a base hit. Over to cut it off toward the gap is Michael Saunders. Gets a throw in, and Heredia has his 2nd base hit tonight. So the Mariners have a man on with 1 out here in the bottom of inning number 5. And here is right fielder Franklin Gutierrez. Mariners in the heat of a pennant chase. Having a chance to take a look at some young players along the way. Guillermo Heredia, one of those kids. Mariners signed him as a free agent this year on March the 1st out of Cuba. Here's Goody. Franklin 1 for 2 with a single. Back of the first inning. The pitch. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. 84 pitches right now for Happ. Only 1 walk and 8 strikeouts for Happ. Second baseman Devin Travis playing right behind the bag. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. These two clubs have a lot of history together. They were expansion cousins way back in 1977. The Mariners opening up in the Kingdome April 6th of 77 against the California Angels. Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch to Gutierrez. Swing and a foul, back of the count, 1-2. And for the expansion Toronto Blue Jays in April of 1977, they opened up at home against the Chicago White Sox on a snowy afternoon. Ken Brett started that game for the White Sox. Roy Hartsfield was the first manager in the history of the Blue Jays. Here's the set and the 1-2 pitch. Low and inside with a breaking ball. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our good buddy Ron Fairley was on that ball club, and I believe he was an all-star at the age of 39 or 40 with the expansion Blue Jays in 1977. Ron Fairley worked alongside Dave Niehaus, myself, Kevin Kremen for many years on our radio and television broadcasts. Now retired, back in Palm Springs. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul, out of play on the first base side, and the count is still even on Goody at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I'm sure Red playing a lot of golf in Palm Springs, enjoying his retirement. He was a heck of a ball player. Coming up with the Dodgers in 1959, the year they won the pennant, went to the World Series, and won the series against the Chicago White Sox in 6 games. Here's the stretch and the 2-2 to Gutierrez. Swing and a towering pop-up left side of the infield. Tulowitzki to his left. Now he comes in. Now he goes back. He's there and makes the catch. So Troy Tulowitzki circling in underneath that pop-up way up there on the left side of the infield on the skin portion. And there's 2 outs for the Mariners with 1 on here in the 5th. Blue Jays lead at 8-2, and here is second baseman Robinson Cano. Ron Fairley also spent some time in the Dodgers organization at AAA, playing in Spokane. And so did players like Frank Howard and Maury Wills. Spokane minor league franchise for many, many years. A lot of history of baseball with our friends over in Spokane on the east side of the state. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Cano, swing and a pop-up out of play on the third base side. And the count is 0-1.
Was riding in a cab this winter in Spokane, Rick, after a Mariners caravan event. And the cabbie said, "You know what I think the Mariners need to do?" And I said, "What's that?" He said, "They need to hire Edgar Martinez."
Good idea.
I got news for you, Mr. Cabbie. Your wish has been granted. It's already happened.
Edgar took over June the 20th last year as hitting coach. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball foul on the first base side, and it's 0-2 on Cano. What did he say when you told him, "Hey, your wish was already granted"?
Oh, good. And for the fine people of Spokane, let that cabbie be no reflection as to the baseball fandom.
They love their baseball in Spokane. Cano, 1 for 2 with a 2-run triple. Hit a hard ground ball to the right side of the infield. Devin Travis, the second baseman, went sliding to get to it. It hit off his knee, and the ball went all the way into the right field corner. And that scored O'Malley from third and Guillermo Heredia from second base. The Mariners had, at that point, a 2-0 lead. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball just outside for ball 1. 1-2 on Cano. I think Bobby Bragan managed the Dodgers minor league affiliate in Spokane for a little while. Let some ball players come through there. Here's the set by Happ. Heredia lead at first. The pitch swung on, popped up, left side of home plate, and out of play. Out by the Blue Jays dugout. And the count is still a ball and 2 strikes. Exhibition Stadium was an interesting ballpark. It was laid across a football stadium where the Toronto Argonauts played in the Canadian Football League. The field was crowned because the football surface of the field was crowned. You had to run up a little hill toward right center for the second baseman running down the hill for a center fielder. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle by Cano for a base hit. Heredia running second, heading for third. He'll make it. Up with the ball, Pilar gets the throw into second baseman Devin Travis. Robbie Cano with a second base hit. That's good to see because Robbie's bat heating up over the last couple of days. So runners on at first and third with 2 outs. And here is designated hitter Nelson Cruz. And the Mariners down by 6, 8-2. Nelly would like to hit one from here to Toronto right now. Or I should say Vancouver. And try to chip away at that 6-run deficit. And try to get the Mariners back in this game. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Cruz, 0 for 1 tonight, has grounded out to Donaldson at third, and he walked a long 8-pitch at bat when he walked in the 3rd inning. Heredia on at third, Cano on at first base, 2 outs. Here's the set by Happ, and the left-hander delivers. Fastball, a strike on Nelly, 0-1. Cruz, over the last 2 years, has hit a grand total of 81 home runs. He had 44 last season. His first year in Seattle. He had 40 home runs a couple of years ago in Baltimore. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch. That's outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of people told me, hey, 40 home runs at Baltimore. Yeah, Camden Yards. What's he going to hit in Safeco Field? He's not going to hit 40. I said, hey, I'll be happy with 30, 35. And he goes out and hits 44 home runs last year. Here's the set. And the 1-1 to Nelly, and a big swing and a miss. And a slow curveball down and in. And the count is 1-2 on Cruz. Cruz with 37 home runs this year. That's tied for 5th in the American League. The guy on top, Mark Trumbo of the Baltimore Orioles. Here's the set and the 1-2 pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Little second baseman Brian Dozier of the Minnesota Twins is second in the league in home runs with 41. Edwin Encarnacion with 41. Chris Davis of Oakland with 40. Chris Davis with Baltimore. The other Chris Davis with 38. Todd Frazier 37. Nelson Cruz 37. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a drive to left field. Back of the ball. Carrera reaches up on the run and he makes the catch. Ezekiel Carrera turning to his left, turning to his right. He gets back in time to haul it in. Cruz lines out to deep left field, and that will end.
Ground to make up of this one. Mariners 2 runs on 6 hits. Here's the pitch to Donaldson, and a misses low for ball 1. Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Bautista here in the top of the 6th inning. All facing Cody Martin. Donaldson 0 for 2 tonight, a walk and a run scored. They have the shift on for Donaldson. The windup and the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball up to the light tower in left field. Heredia is at the wall trying to time it. He leaps. It's gone. Donaldson hit that a mile high and over the fence in left field. It's now 9-2 Blue Jays. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Hey, Mariners fans, Mike Salk here. It has come to this 2 biggest games of the year against Toronto. We'll be getting ready for Felix tomorrow and talking all about what happened tonight. We get going at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Brock and Salk, 710 ESPN, KIRO, AM/CN.
First pitch to Encarnacion, and a misses low for ball 1. I'm going to take a guess that in terms of home runs hit this year, if you want to nerd out on launch angle, That's in the top 5, if not higher than that. A moonshot from Donaldson. The pitch. Swinging a foul off the right side. It's 1-1.
That had the angle of a Saturn rocket.
Which I'm guessing would be
pretty high.
Pretty up there, wouldn't it, Rico?
Yeah, that thing was way up there.
Activity inside the Blue Jays bullpen. They lead at 9-2. The shift is on for Encarnacion. Martin's pitch. And a misses for ball 2, 2-1. From where we sit, right behind home plate, now the 200 level here at Safeco Field, that ball got so high that it was up in our line of sight with the light tower in left field. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball to third base. Seager cuts it off in front of O'Malley. Feet on the grass, he throws to first for round number 1. 1 out, 1 in, and it brings in Bautista. I can't remember a home run hit that high in this ballpark in years. Reminiscent of Dae-Ho Lee's home run at Petco Park over the summer. Out to left field. And the incredible comeback game against the Padres. First pitch to Bautista. He swings and pops it up foul behind home for strike 1. Well, time for the Farmers Friendly Review. Call your local Farmers agent today to learn more about their new Farmers Smart Plan home policy, where you can tailor your homeowner coverage to fit your needs. This one very lopsided at this point. 9-2 Blue Jays as we play in the top of the 6th. The Mariners at one point led 2-0. The 0-1. Big rip and a miss. 0-2. It was the 2-run triple by Cano off of Devin Travis's knee at second base. And went Karamine all the way into the corner, believe it or not, in right field. It scored Heredia. And O'Malley. Mariners led this one 2-0 through 3. The pitch. And it's low. 1-2. But then came an 8-run 4th inning where the Blue Jays sent 12 men to the plate. In fact, at one point, they had a stretch of 9 consecutive hitters reach base. Russell Martin, a 2-run homer that tied it up. Michael Saunders, a 2-run homer to give the Blue Jays the lead. The 1-2. Swing and a stiff ground ball through the left side. That was tomahawked by Bautista. He has extended his on-base streak to 28 games. He has picked up his 2nd base hit tonight. A 1-out single on the ground into left field. 9-2 in favor of the Jays. It brings in Russell Martin. That is our Red Hook score. Iwakuma 3 1/3. Vincent faced 3 men, did not record an out. It has been Cody Martin since. 1 out, 1 on for Russell Martin. 1 for 2 tonight. The 2-run homer, also a walk. Here comes the pitch. And Martin looks at a strike. If you look at Iwakuma tonight, we were praising Iwakuma at the onset of this ball game for his career success against the Blue Jays. It really has been remarkable. Tonight making his 6th career start against Toronto. He gave up as many runs tonight in 3 1/3 innings as he had in his career in 5 starts against the Blue Jays. The 0-1. A strike at the knees. It's 0-2. Iwakuma came into tonight with 3 straight quality starts. 7 quality starts in his last 9 times out. And when he saw the Blue Jays over the summer in Toronto, just 2 runs over 6. The pitch. Low and outside, 1-2. Blue Jays 9, Mariners 2. Top of the 6th inning. 1 out, 1 on. Donaldson's home run got this inning going. The pause and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cody Martin disposes of Russell Martin. That was out number 2. 2 outs. Bautista stays at first and brings in Troy Tulowitzki. Tomorrow will be the final game of this series. It is a tremendous pitching matchup. Felix Hernandez versus Aaron Sanchez. 12:40 our start time. Pre-game show at 11:30. Pitch to Tulowitzki, swings and hits a soft pop-up in a shallow right field. Cano is coasting out. He's by the line. He's looking up, and he snags a foul ball in mid-flight as it's coming back down to earth. That is out number 3. Tulowitzki on the first pitch pops a foul to Cano. Bautista stranded at first base. The left-hander up on the mound now for the Blue Jays. So Happ with 8 strikeouts over 5 innings, and at one point striking out 5 in a row. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. The 2 runs coming on 1 swing. That was the triple by Cano that hit off the knee of Devin Travis. So here is Loup. First pitch to Seager, and it misses badly low and outside for ball 1. So if this score holds, Happ will become only the second 20-game winner in baseball this season. Both have come from the same division. Rick Porcello, as Rick was mentioning earlier, out of the American League East for the Red Sox. The 1-0, a strike. Loup in his 5th season in the major leagues. They've all been with the Blue Jays, making only his 18th appearance this year. Has pitched all of 12 innings. The 1-1. Breaking ball, missing low and outside. It's 2-1. 9-2 Blue Jays as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Seager, Lee, and Leonis Martin due up. Happ done at 99 pitches in 5 innings. The next offering. Swinging a lift out towards left field. Carrera is trotting in, and he's able to lean at the belt and make the catch, keeping his feet on the grass. Seager is out the opposite way. Flies out to left. He's 0 for 3. Well, we were mentioning the pitching matchup tomorrow, Felix versus Aaron Sanchez. We hope to see you right here. It's the Mariners midweek matinee versus the Blue Jays. 12:40 the first pitch. Pre-game coverage begins at 11:30. You can swing by Mariners.com to pick up tickets. Here is Dae-Ho Lee. First pitch from Loup. And it's in for a strike. 9-2 Blue Jays. It's interesting when you think about 20-game winners. They've really become a dying breed in baseball. The 0-1. And it's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kind of at the same time where many people would almost scoff at the notion that being a 20-game winner is something to be impressed at. Porcello this year, last year, as the 1-1 comes home, it's outside. 2-1. Last year, each league had 1, and it just so happened that it was the Cy Young winner in both leagues. Keuchel in the American League, Arrieta for the Cubs in the National League. 1 out, nobody on, the 2-1 pitch. And it's a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. In 2014, there were 3 20-game winners. Cueto, Kershaw, and Wainwright. The last time we went without a 20-game winner was in 2009. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a slice into the corner in right field. Saunders pedaling quickly, but this is into the seats of foul ball. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. In fact, if you look at Porcello, he is the first Red Sox pitcher with 20 wins since Josh Beckett in 2007, and that year he was the only 20-game winner in baseball. The year before, 2006, none. 9-2 Blue Jays, 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the 6th inning. Mariners need to stack up some base runners. Here's a 2-2. Swinging a foul off the hands off the right side.
Talking about the lack of 20-game winners, so I guess Denny McLain's record of 31 wins back in 1968 going to be pretty safe.
I think that's going to stick around for a while.
Forever. Guys make 32 starts a year.
You better be pretty good, and you better get a lot of run support.
And have a heck of a bullpen.
The 2-2 to Lee. He swings and flicks it down the right field line. Saunders closing. It's a fair ball. It's in towards the corner. Dae-Ho Lee rounds first as Saunders bobbles it for just a slight moment in right field, and it allows Lee to coast in, standing up with a 1-out double.
And you can see Dae-Ho Lee throughout that at-bat with 2 strikes trying to drive the ball the other way. Hit one well, but fouled down the right field line. And this time going the other way. And driving it down the right field line, this time fair. Saunders slamming into the wall down the right field line. And Tejo settles for the 1-out double. But a great approach with 2 strikes. You give yourself a chance to hit 280 to 300 if you use foul line to foul line. Hit the ball the other way.
Here is Martin. Now, if you go back to the start of 1980, so we're talking a long time, the most 20-game winners that we've seen in a single season is 2001. There were 7 of them, highlighted by Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens, Curt Schilling. The pitch to Martin, he swings and rattles it foul for strike 1. And that kind of, all right, Rick, interested in your thoughts on that. At first I thought, well, it's incredible to get 20 wins in a season in an era where we know what the baseball culture was like in that season in particular. Mm-hmm. Then I thought, well, if you and I are pitching against each other and I get 6 runs of support, you get 7 runs of support, as long as you're the guy with 7, you could get the win.
And there were quite a few.
The 0-1 swing at a foul off the left side. It's 0-2.
We're also talking about some of those guys in the Hall of Fame.
Sure. You're also talking about some really good pitchers. Jamie Moyer was a 20-win winner that year. Mark Mulder.
Jamie knew how to pitch. He understood that hitting is timing and pitching is the ability to mess up that timing. And he did such a great job with his changeup and locating his fastball.
The 0-2. Low and outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays lead it by 7 runs. 1-out lead at second base after the double into right field. Loops 1-2 on the way home. Breaking ball is inside. 2-2. We saw Martin appear to injure his arm in the second inning on a strikeout to end the frame. Has been fine since, at least has been able to stay on the field. He has struck out twice tonight and is looking here at a 2-2 count. The next pitch, cut out and missed. Breaking ball gets Martin swinging right through it. Out number 2. And Martin has struck out 3 times. And steps Chris Iannetta. Struck out looking on a fastball from Happ back in the 4th inning. The windup and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball right back to Loop, who stabs it on 1 bounce. He throws to first base, and Iannetta is out number 3. Lee, after the double, stranded at second base. We have completed 6. On to the 7th. 9-2 Blue. Martin back up on the mound. The right-hander's pitch. And it's high and outside for ball 1. Saunders, a 2-run homer back in the 4th inning. His 24th of the season. Saunders an all-star this year, but numbers not nearly as good in the second half. The pitch. And it's in there for a strike. 1-1. Saunders, Pilar, and Carrera, the bottom 3 due up. Martin Wines fires. Swing and a miss. Saunders not close. Flailing at that pitch. And when you look at the standings entering tonight, the Mariners were tied with the Astros. 79-71, a half game behind the Tigers. Tigers 2.5 outside of the wild card. Saunders steps out for a moment. Now digs back in. Martin spins home the next pitch. And it's inside. 2-2. I looked around the Northwest Chevy dealer scoreboard tonight. The Astros and the A's are in extra innings. And Houston scoring in the top of the 10th. The pitch. Swinging a high pop foul. Not a play off the left side. Still 2-2. So the Astros right now leading 2-1 in Oakland in the 10th inning. In that game, Jose Altuve, a single to left field in the 8th. He has picked up his 200th hit for the 3rd consecutive season. Saunders stepping out once again. 9-2 Blue Jays on Red Hook score, just underway, top of the 7th. The next pitch. Swinging a line drive the opposite way. Heredia drifting back in front of the warning track. He makes the catch, striding back on his heels for round number 1. Saunders out to left field, and that brings in Kevin Pillar. So the Mariners, if they cannot come back, and if the Astros hold, would lose ground to Houston, who tied with the Mariners entering tonight, 3 games back. Tigers with a very convincing win in Minneapolis. The first pitch to Pillar, swings and smashes this into shallow right center field. That ball started to really die. It falls in front of Martin. It drops in for a base hit. Pillar has been on base every time tonight. He has reached for the 4th time. He's 3 for 3 with a walk. That ended up sounding a lot better than it looked, although it does fall in. 1 out, 1 on for Carrera. Now for the Tigers, who are relying on a very young rotation outside of Justin Verlander these days, Matt Boyd took a shutout into the 7th as they pick up their 2nd straight win. First pitch to Carrera is outside for ball 1. So the Tigers have closed within a game and a half of the American League wild card with 12 games to play. James McCann homering, the catcher for the Tigers, and also Miguel Cabrera going deep, his 34th. The 1-0, outside and low, 2-0. When you think about Cabrera and how he very well could be the best right-handed hitter of his generation, it's always a nice challenge to try to find new ways to sum up his greatness as a hitter. And if you look at where he has landed in MVP voting, here's the pitch. Swing, and it's pulled quickly foul over by first base, 2-1. There has never been a season in Cabrera's career where he has not received an MVP vote. Think about that. That's amazing.
And for 4 consecutive years, it was Trout and Cabrera. 1-2, 1-2.
And Trout, of course, a much younger career, has never finished lower than 2nd in the MVP voting. That could change this year through no fault of his own. The 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
But I think one of the things that makes him so great, his ability to drive the ball the other way. You know, a lot of his hits, he'll go to right field, hit the ball out to right field. But there's not any one way you can pitch him, and those are the great hitters.
Such power to all fields. The 3-1. And a misses for ball 4. Boy, the bottom third of the order has blistered the Mariners tonight. As a collective group, they have drawn 3 walks. They have scored 3 runs. They have hit a 2-run homer.
Six hits.
6 hits, yeah. 1 out, 2 on to the top of the order. Here is Devin Travis. The pitch. And it's a strike. Travis with the base hit, an RBI base hit back in the 4th. Now has extended his career best hitting streak to 17 games. Martin's 0-1, swinging a ground ball, pulled foul over by third base. 0-2. By the way, another note from that Tigers win, as the Tigers go to 80-70. Brian Dozier, who is the hottest hitter on the planet right now, picked up a base hit. He has now extended his hitting streak to 23 games. It's the longest by a Twin since Torrey Hunter in 2007. The 0-2. Downstairs in the dirt, 1-2. And Dozier seems to have almost completely changed his game. Last year, Dozier was taken out of the leadoff spot. He was pulled happy. It was home run or bust. And this year, he's been one of the best home run hitters in baseball. He's got over 40 of them. But you're seeing the hitting streak of over 20 games, 23 now. So Clearly, he has made some form of adjustment. We'll be seeing Dozier and the Twins coming up on the next road trip shortly. Travis steps out for a moment, takes a slow practice swing. 1 out, runners at first and second base. 9-2 Blue Jays here in the top of the 7th. The next pitch. Travis swings, clocks this to Seager, snares it for the out, throws down to second base to complete the double play. Pilar out at second base. Travis lines into a 5-4 baseball club. 9-2 in favor of the Blue Jays. That is our Red Hook score. Ryan Tepera making his 17th appearance of the season, now pitching for the Blue Jays. Facing Sean O'Malley, the right-hander's pitch. And misses low and outside for ball 1. 9 unanswered runs by the Blue Jays here tonight. The next pitch to O'Malley. He swings and lifts this foul the opposite way over towards left field. This is into the seats. 1-1. It was O'Malley who sparked the scoring. Now short-lived as it was for the Mariners tonight back in the 3rd inning. A 1-out bunt base hit. Then Heredia reached on an infield single, and out later Cano tripled off the knee of Devin Travis, the second baseman. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Tied him up on the hands. It's 1-2. We had never seen anything quite like that before. A ball that hit Travis on a bounce and then caromed truly into the corner in right field. The 1-2 to O'Malley. Inside jackknifes him. It's 2-2. Elsewhere tonight around the Northwest Chevy Dealer scoreboard, the Red Sox win it from Camden Yards. 5-2 the final score there. That's good news for the Mariners. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's how the bottom of the 7th begins. David Ortiz, a 3-run homer. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Stand strong, Seattle. Hey, it's Danny O'Neill from Danny, Dave, and More, and I'm going to be with you hip deep in hosers tonight at Safeco Field. See if the Mariners can get back on the winning track. We'll tell you about it tomorrow. Actually, we're pitching relief. We come on after tomorrow's game. Danny, Dave, and More on KIRO AM Seattle.
First pitch comes into Heredia and gets him on what looked like the shoulder. Heredia takes first base with 1 out. We have a chance to see the replay, and fortunately that hit off the elbow guard of Heredia, but that does not mean it necessarily felt all that great. We have a pinch hitter for Gutierrez, Ben Gamble, climbing in. Mariners have 1 out, 1 on. Heredia at first base for Gamble, the left-handed hitter, to face the righty Tepera. (9-2) Blue Jays, bottom of the 7th. The pitch. And misses low and outside for ball 1. So Ortiz, a 3-run homer tonight. His 36th this year. Jackie Bradley Jr. going deep as well. Kimbrel picks up his 28th save. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. We've said this before, but Mariners fans should just be rooting for the Red Sox to run away with the East. The Yankees did win tonight. That snapped their 5-game losing streak, their longest on the season. So the Yankees are now 77 and 73. The 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball into right field. Saunders is closing in on it. He puts on the brakes, reaches up in the sky, makes the catch. Out number 2. Gamble pinch hitting, flies out to right. Heredia stays put at first. It brings in Cano. Well, the most popular way to follow the Mariners postseason push is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat on your favorite device now. Two outs already. A hit by the pitch at first. It brings in Cano. Mariners down 9-2. Here's the pitch. A strike. For Ortiz, by the way, that 36th home run. Now the most home runs by a player in his final season, passing Dave Kingman with 35 homers back in 1986 as a 37-year-old with the A's. Kingman led baseball in 79 with 48 homers. The 0-1. Inside, squirts away from Russell Martin. There goes Heredia, the throw down at second base, and he's out. Scott Service putting up his right hand. We'll see if they want to take a look at this or not. Tulowitzki was covering. And he might have been in there safe. It looks like Tulowitzki's tag was in line with Heredia's chest, and his left hand touched second base. The Mariners will probably end up challenging this. Sure looks safe from what we've seen.
Exactly. Tulowitzki reaching in, leaving the glove in front of the bag, but the hand getting underneath that glove, and his hand is on the bag when Tulowitzki gets the tag on the chest of the sliding Heredia. I think the Mariners are going to win this challenge.
Well, they are challenging, and while the umps review the play, we will, of course, review your Northwest Healthy Tip of the Day, brought to you by CHI Franciscan Health, the Seattle Mariners official partners in health. And today's healthy tip, a good one. Laughing every day improves overall health and well-being. As Kevin is cackling in the background, CHI Franciscan Health, keeping you Northwest healthy. Smile on, Kevin. To learn more, visit nwhealthy.org. What a happy guy.
He's always happy.
Always.
The throw was there in time, but Tulowitzki left his glove up and well in front of the bag, and that allowed Heredia to reach in with his left arm. And his hand appears to be on the bag as the tag is on the chest of Heredia.
And this one looks pretty clear cut from our vantage point.
Mistake I think a lot of middle infielders make is they reach for the runner, and once they get that throw, they just need to get that glove in front of the bag, because eventually a foot or a hand is going to try to get to the bag. But Tulowitzki was reaching for Heredia, and he had a chance, I believe, to get underneath that tag.
Now this is taking a little bit longer than I think we might have imagined. Heredia, meanwhile, hands at his hips, standing behind second base. The Blue Jays are nearly off the field. Most of them are huddled by the third base foul line. Well, they are taking some time to sort this one out. It's 9-2 Blue Jays in the bottom of the seventh inning.
I think the Mariners are going to win this. Let's see. The head shots are off.
He's safe. Call is overturned. And that was clearly the right call. Tepera will take a couple of warm-up pitches. And it goes down as a wild pitch, allowing Heredia to get into second base. Cano, who was 2 for his last 24 entering tonight, is 2 for 3 this evening. Good sign for Robbie. Tepera pauses at the chest, takes a look at second base, and the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss. Handcuffed him on a pitch inside. It's 1-2. The Indians win tonight 2-1 as their magic number continues to drop to win their first division title since 2007. They walked off tonight at home against Kansas City. Their 11th walk-off win, the most in baseball this year. Heredia at second base. The 1-2. Swing, and this is popped foul over the screen right behind home into the seats. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. David Rollins, the left-hander, is warming up inside the bullpen for the Mariners. It was Brandon Guyer, the former Tampa Bay Ray, with the walk-off base hit. He was acquired rather by the Indians, mainly to face lefties. 9-2 Blue Jays, 2 outs. Heredia at second, bottom of the 7th. Here comes the next pitch to Cano. And it misses. Low and outside, 2-2. Yankees snap their 5-game losing streak. They take down Tampa Bay 5-3. Gary Sanchez slugged the go-ahead 3-run homer. Sanchez now has 17 home runs. The 2-2. Outside. Full count. No player has more homers through their first 44 career games than Gary Sanchez. Brad Miller with a 2-run triple off of Michael Pineda, a couple of former Mariners.
Years ago, the Yankees had first baseman Kevin Moss that got off to a great start like that. Not as good as Gary Sanchez, but a hot start.
Sanchez has been just incredible. We saw it firsthand. 2 outs, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. And on his hands. Cano strikes out, leaving Heredia at second. We have completed 7.
David Rollins from the stretch. He kicks and he delivers. Fastball way up high for ball 1. Josh Donaldson, long home run. Well, a home run that was a towering home run. It landed. It came straight down in the Blue Jays bullpen in left field. Looked like it was shot out of a cannon. Here's the pitch on the way. And strike on the outside corner. The count is even on Donaldson at 1 ball and 1 strike. That thing had some serious hang time to it. His 35th home run of the year. Blue Jays 9 runs on 13 hits. The stretch and the pitch. It's outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Donaldson, Encarnacion, and Bautista. Donaldson last Wednesday went 3 for 3. That broke an 0 for 23 slump. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a foul back. He takes a cut, and the count is even on Donaldson at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was a shock a few years ago when Billy Beane of the Oakland A's traded away Donaldson to the Blue Jays because the A's at that time still had control of Donaldson, who had really come into his own with the Athletics. He was a catcher, as you know, then went to third base. And the 2-2 pitch is low and inside for ball 3, full count 3-2. The Oakland A's had a chance to hang on to Donaldson for a while, but Billy made that trade, and it's really paid off for the Blue Jays. Rollins looks in. Here is the stretch. And the 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul back. And the count stays full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Donaldson having a rough month of September. For the month, hitting just .149. This game, I don't care how good you are, will humble you in a heartbeat. It is not easy. And the good ones will even struggle. Here's the set. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up behind home plate and out of play. And the count is still full on Donaldson at 3-2. And when the young players get here, I think that's one of the first things they realize, that, hey, if a Robbie Cano can struggle, that Josh Donaldson can go 0 for 23. Even Altuve, when he came in with the Astros, had a stretch where he wasn't, believe it or not, hitting. Here is the set, and the 3-2 on the way. Swing and a pop-up into shallow left field down the line, cutting across the short. Makes the catch. 1 out for the Blue Jays here in the top of the 8th inning. But even Altuve had a rough stretch prior to the 3-game series against the Mariners here in Seattle to start this homestand. He was 9 for 61 coming into that series. Previous 61 at-bats. Jose Altuve, who seemingly against the Mariners gets 2 or 3 hits a game. So here's Edwin Encarnacion, 1 for 4 with a 2-run double in that 8-run 4th inning. The pitch to him is up and in for ball 1. So it's not an easy game. These guys are so good that, man, they make it look easy. Here's the stretch and the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a well-hit ball deep to left field, high into the night. Back she goes. Goodbye baseball. Down the left field line. Edwin Encarnacion, his 42nd home run of the season. His 3rd RBI tonight. And the Blue Jays now lead it by a score of 10-2. And a big throng of Blue Jay fans in attendance last night and again tonight. And they will be here tomorrow afternoon as well. 10-2 Toronto. And here is Jose Bautista, 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. Rollins ready, fires away a fastball that's high and outside for ball 1. Bautista, 18 home runs on the year and 59 runs batted in. The stretch and the 1-0 pitch, low and inside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Good matchup tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow an afternoon ball game at 12:40. Get here early, Kings Court, day baseball. Felix Hernandez against Aaron Sanchez. Good matchup. The stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. And Rollins way behind Bautista, 3 balls and no strikes. Now time is called. Iannetta trots out to the mound. Have a talk with Rollins. So come by tomorrow afternoon. Felix Hernandez, 11-6. Trying to bounce back after the tough outing his last start on Friday night here at home against Houston. The Astros won that opening game 6-0. And Aaron Sanchez, he's a 13-game winner. He's 13-2 for the Blue Jays. He'll go tomorrow afternoon for Toronto. Here's the stretch. The pitch to Bautista, and he's taken all the way, and it's a strike, 3-1. Blue Jays in a battle for one of the wild card spots. The stretch and the 3-1 pitch, swinging, it's popped up right side of the infield. Backing up, Dae-Ho Lee cutting across Cano. Robbie, or rather that is Mike Freeman. Freeman out there at second base, and Freeman will make the catch in shallow right field. He was on the other side of the bag. He came racing way over to his left to shallow right field, and it's Freeman who puts it away for the second out of the inning. Mike Freeman taking over for Robbie here in the top of the 8th inning. So 2 outs and a run in, 10-2 Blue Jays. And the batter is catcher Russell Martin. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball, strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Martin is 1 for 3 with a home run to left field. The stretch and the pitch. Down low, ball 1, 1-1. That was the first big hit for the Blue Jays in that 8-run top of the 4th inning. The Mariners had a 2-0 lead. Jose Bautista with 1 out, singled, and then Martin hit the home run to left field that tied the game. And the Blue Jays kept coming. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Tulowitzki with a single. Michael Saunders a home run to right center. 4-2 Blue Jays. Pilar double. Carrera RBI single. Travis RBI bloop single. Donaldson walked. Encarnacion a 2-run double. 8 runs in the 4th inning for the Blue Jays. Next offer is outside for ball 3. 3-1 on Martin. Look at the Northwest Chevy Dealers scoreboard. D-backs in San Diego. 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 6th inning. Giants leading the Dodgers 1-0 in L.A. in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 called on Martin. Started out of the box. Full count 3-2. Boston in Baltimore. Red Sox helping out the Mariners with a 5-2 win over the Orioles. Here's the set by Rollins and the 3-2 to Russell Martin. Fastball swing, and it's popped up. Shallow right field coming in. Ben Gamble, he's there, still running in toward the line. Now will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Gamble coming in time to get to it. Well, the Blue Jays tack on another run. 1 run on a home run by earned runs. 8 walks, 38 strikeouts. Toronto will also a new third baseman, Darwin Barney, replacing Josh Donaldson at third, and Dioner Navarro replacing starting catcher Russell Martin. So Navarro behind the plate, Barney at third, and Cecil on the mound to work the bottom of the 8th inning. Nelson Cruz to lead things off for the Mariners. 10-2 Toronto. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Cruz tonight 0 for 2. He has grounded out to third, walked. Long at bat back in the third inning, and has lined out to Carrera in left field. Cecil's next pitch, low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball to 1 strike. Club's hitting .287 against Cecil. The stretch and the pitch. Swing and a foul out of play in the first base side. And it's 1-2 on Cruz. Cruz, Seager, and Lee for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays tonight 10 runs on 14 base hits. No errors. Mariners 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Here's the next offer on the way, and it's low and inside. Ball 2, 2 balls, and 2 strikes to count. Overall, a good month of September for the Mariners. They were red hot, especially in the early part of the month that included that 8-game winning streak that shot them right into the race. Here's the next offer on the way, low and inside, ball 3, full count 3-2, but it's been a rough homestand for the Mariners. They came home with that 8-game win streak and then lost 2 out of 3 to Houston. And then the Blue Jays ended up winning last night by a score of 3-2. Some tough 1-run losses. Along the way, the stretch and the 3-2 pitch, swinging a pop-up outside of first and out of play. And it's still 3-2 on Cruz. Well, these guys keep on fighting. There's that sign out there in the facing of the upper deck in left field. Ken Griffey Jr. reminded everybody of that. And his wonderful speech here when the Mariners retired Jr.'s number 24, back on August the 6th. The 3-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball up the middle, off to his right. The second baseman Travis behind the bag. The throw to first in time to get Cruz. And there's one away. 10-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th. Right now, word from Wells Fargo. Call, click, or stop by today to start a conversation about how they can work with you to help your business succeed financially. Because an open dialogue can open doors. Wells Fargo, together, will go far. Rick Riz, along with Aaron Goldsmith and producer-engineer Kevin Kremen. Middle game of the 3-game series with the Jays. Here is Ketel Marte with a swing and a foul out of play on the first base side. So this is Marte batting in Seager's spot in the order, with Dae-Ho Lee due up next. Here's the set and the 0-1 pitch. Marte takes inside for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Both managers are getting a lot of their players off the bench and in the game. Hardly a breeze right now. Here's the stretch and the 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, of ball and 2 strikes. Mariners 79 wins on the year, 79 and 71. That's 3 more than they had all of last season. They were 76 and 86. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is high. Ball 2, 2-2 on Ketel Marte. Right-hander Scott Feldman warming up in the Blue Jays bullpen, and the Mariners have a right-hander and a lefty warming up. Pat Venditti, the switch pitcher, throws from both sides. Here's the set and the 2-2. Marte has swing and a ground ball right to Travis, the second baseman. He's got a big Sunday hop. He's got it to throw to first in time to get Marte for the second out here in the bottom of the 8th. So 2 up and 2 down. Well, Robinson Cano is one of 30 team nominees eligible to win the Roberto Clemente Award. This prestigious honor recognizes the player who best represents the game through sportsmanship and positive contributions on and off the field. You can vote for Robinson when you use the hashtag VoteCano on Twitter or Facebook. Vote for Robbie Cano. Here's Dae-Ho Lee. 1 for 3 with a double into the right field corner his last time up in the 6th inning. The stretch of the pitch by Cecil in there for a strike. With a breaking ball, 0-1. Mariners started play tonight 3 back in the wild card race. The 0-1 pitch, low and inside, ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Baltimore And Toronto 1-2 in the wild card race going into today's activity. Tigers were 2.5 out. Mariners 3. Houston 3. Here's a swing and a line drive foul down the left field line into the crowd. And the count is now 1-2 on Dae-Ho Lee. As far as division races go, pretty much everything is settled. But the Orioles still have an outside chance. Here's a swing and a fly ball into straightaway center field. Right there, though, is Kevin Pillar to make the catch, and that will retire the side. In the bottom of the 8th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors.
Tom on 710 KIRO AM Seattle.
Well, we just watched Pat Venditti warming up to the right side, and now he turns around. He warms up from the left side, where he takes his last warm-up pitch. As we go to the top of the 9th inning, Blue Jays lead by a score of 10-2. Here's Venditti. Overall in the year, no record with a 6.63 ERA, 13 games. As a Mariner, no record with a 7.84 ERA in 5 games. He's started off the year with the Blue Jays and made an 8 appearance out of their bullpen.
Ryan Goins pinch hitting for Tulowitzki to be in the top of the 9th.
So Goins will lead things off. Goins, a left-handed hitter, so Venditti pitching from the left side. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way. Strike on the inside corner on Goins. 0-1. Venditti with the Blue Jays in those 8 relief appearances had a 5.19 ERA. Spent a lot of time at AAA Buffalo. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball, swinging a foul back by Goins, and it's 0-2. With Buffalo, 25 games, 2 starts. He was 2-1, had a 4.37 ERA. One of the very interesting stories in the game of baseball. As a kid, his father taught him to throw left-handed and right-handed. Here's the set. Left-handed, delivers curveball low and outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he has that specially made glove where he can just put it on the other hand and pitch from the other side. It's got webbing on the left and right side of the glove. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And on deck, right fielder Michael Saunders. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, low and outside, ball 3, full count on Goins at 3-2. Big inning, and I mean a big inning for Toronto. That was back in the top of the 4th. And they scored 8 times on 8 hits. Here's the pitch. It's strike 3 called on the outside corner. Venditti strikes out. Goins looking. So 1 away for the Blue Jays here in the top of the 9th inning. Well, Mariner pitchers topping out at 93 miles an hour tonight. Throwing gas brought to you by ExxonMobil, the only fuel brand partner of plenty. Visit PLENTI.com to sign up. Tonight's paid attendance, 33,573 here at the corner of Edgar and Dave. Edgar Martinez Drive and Dave Niehaus Way. Best address in Seattle. The windup and the pitch to Michael Saunders. It's low for ball 1. Saunders 1 for 3 with a home run back in that 8-run 4th. 2-run home run to right field. Next pitch on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Saunders from Victoria, British Columbia. Here's the stretch and the 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball is inside, ball 3, 3-0. When Michael was with the Mariners a while back, we went on our winter caravan. We head north to Vancouver, south to Portland, east to Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Walla Walla. Next pitch on the way. Fastball is strike, and the count is 3-1. This particular trip, we had Michael and a few other guys, and we went up north to Vancouver, and we had a chance to watch the Canucks play. Mariners arranged for a suite there to watch that hockey game. Here's the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss by Saunders. And the count goes to 3-2. I think the Canucks beat the St. Louis Blues that night. And between periods, they interviewed Saunders. Here's the stretch and the 3-2. It is strike 3 called. Saunders caught looking. Pat Venditti with back-to-back strikeouts. here in the top of the 9th inning. He fell behind Saunders 3-0. He comes back to strike him out. So 2 away for the Blue Jays here in their half of the 9th inning. Jays lead it 10-2, and that'll bring up center fielder Kevin Pillar.
We had a chance to talk to Michael today for the pregame show, and it always is amusing to hear Michael when he would talk about his time with the Mariners.
Here's the pitch, swing and a foul out of play on the first base side, 0-1 on Pillar.
And would go to Rogers Center and would be booed by Blue Jays fans for being a traitor for playing for any other team other than the Blue Jays.
Well, you got to draft him. Here's the pitch on the way, swing and a foul back by Pillar, and the count is 0-2.
And of course, this year he received nearly 18 million votes for the All-Star game of the fan voting. And the people who were booing him were, of course, now voting for him.
Now playing for the Jays. Here's the pitch to Pillar. Swinging a fly ball lifted down the right field line in toward the corner. Going back of the ball is Gamble. He has some room. Ben is there near the seats, and he makes the catch. And that will retire the side. And we go to the bottom of the ninth to 2. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Alaska Airlines Mariners Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. John Clayton here. Well, we'll see where the Mariners stand in this critical stretch against Toronto. We'll also check in with Dave Wyman to preview the Seahawks as they get ready for the game against the San Francisco 49ers. It's John Clayton at 10 on 710 KIRO AM Seattle.
Well, some changes for the Blue Jays. Justin Smoke, the former Mariner, takes over at first base for Edwin Encarnacion, and on the mound, big right-hander Scott Feldman is on in relief to work the bottom of the 9th. Leonis Martin will lead it off for the Mariners. So here is Feldman. 7-4 for the year, 4.03 ERA. Here's the pitch, and it's low and outside for ball 1. 39 games, 5 starts overall on the season, 76 innings, 87 hits, 18 walks, 56 strikeouts. The stretch and the 1-0 pitch to Martin. Swinging a chopper wide to the mound. Feldman can't get to it. Charging Travis on the run. The throw to first. And it's in time to get Martin. Devin Travis hustling in. Up onto the infield grass. Flying in. Gets that ball and throws across his body in time to get Martin at first base. So 1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Heck of a play by Travis. And here is Daniel Vogelbach to pinch hit for Chris Iannetta. This is Vogelbach. Burley left-handed hitting first baseman. And a stretch and the pitch, and Vogelbach takes a look at ball 1. Daniel acquired by the Mariners at the end of July in a trade for Mike Montgomery from the Cubs. Feldman from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball 2, 2 balls, and no strikes to count. Vogelbach 1 for 10 in the big leagues. Here's the set, and the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, as the count goes to 2-1. Vogelbach made his major league debut on September the 12th against the Angels as a pinch hitter. Bounced into a fielder's choice. First at bat of the big leagues. The stretch and the 2-1 pitch. That's outside. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. This kid takes a pretty good cut. AAA Iowa hit very well in the Cubs organization. With 16 home runs, had 7 home runs down in Tacoma after the trade, and the 3-1 pitch, that's outside for ball 4. So Vogelbach with a walk. So Daniel on at first base with 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning, 10-2 Blue Jays. And here is Sean O'Malley. At AAA Iowa, Vogelbach hit .318. As we mentioned, the 16 home runs, had 64 RBIs. And he hit .240 at Tacoma with 7 home runs and 24, make it 32 runs batted in. Here's the stretch and the pitch to O'Malley. A strike called, 0-1. Sean is 1 for 3, had a bunt single, and he scored the first of 2 runs for the Mariners back in the 3rd inning. Mariners had a 2-0 lead at the time. Here's the pitch, low and outside, ball 1, 1 ball, and 1 strike. But it didn't last long as the Blue Jays came up in the top of the fourth, batted around for 8 runs on 8 hits. Home runs by Russell Martin and Michael Saunders. The stretch and the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a broken back ground ball to Travis at second. He's got it. Backhand flip over to Tulowitzki at short. At second base for the force on Vogelback for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs. O'Malley safe at first base on a 4-6 fielder's choice. And the Mariners are down to their final out. Here is Guillermo Heredia. 1 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Blue Jays lead it 10-2. Heredia has been aboard 3 times in this game. He's fly to right, singled twice, and has been hit by a pitch. Here's the stretch. Runner takes off. Pitch on the way. A strike on the outside corner. O'Malley just getting into second base. Indifference. No steal. And the count is 0-1 on Heredia. Feldman a look back. In with a sign, the stretch, and the 0-1 pitch. And here she comes. Heredia takes low and outside. Ball 1, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Mariners and the Blue Jays tomorrow afternoon. Remember, weekday baseball at 12:40 tomorrow. We'll see you on the radio at 11:30 for the pregame show. Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside for ball 2, 2-1. The throng of Blue Jay fans coming down from north of the border, making a lot of noise here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The set by Feldman. And the right-hander takes a lot of time between pitches. Still looking in, still looking in. And now the 2-1 to Heredia, and it's low and outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count. Mariners down to their final out. Ben Gamel is due up next. O'Malley a lead out there at second base. Feldman ready. He delivers. Swing and a miss by Heredia for strike 2. A full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I sure like this kid, Guillermo Heredia, getting a chance to play in the big leagues for the first time. Back up there. O'Malley bouncing around at second. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball. Shallow right field. Coming in is Saunders. He's there to make the catch. And the ball game is over. The Blue Jays win it tonight. A final score of 10-2. And Toronto takes the opening 2 games of this 3-game series. Blue Jays now go to 83-68. Mariners down with a record of 79-72. Jay Happ becomes the second 20-game winner in the American League.